situation in front of us. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need a make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one, I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart, I see you in my dreams, I keep you in my prayers. That's what the end, I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time will come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? Welcome to another beautiful finals of the NPL Season 6. We're going to be hopping into the games right now as all of the teams are getting ready for what is going to be an absolutely amazing day. All right, I know you guys are super excited. So we're going to be joined by Priest and Enigma, who are going to take you guys through the entire game. So let's hop into them quickly. You guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Priest, and I am still here with my main man Enigma. Welcome to the Nigerian Pro League Season 6. I am super pumped. It is the finals. I am I'm just overwhelmed. We've come really far. Remember the playoffs. Enigma, how are you feeling tonight? How are you feeling tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? It is the NPL finals, and we can't wait, man. This is going to be super exciting. We got a lot of OP teams lined up for us tonight. So let's hop on in and see who's going to be our first. All right. Looks like, I don't know. Chat, let us know if you can hear us, if everything is okay on your side. It should be. I think you guys should be able to hear us, but let's head on into our first game. Let's go through. Who do you think is going to be our first winners here, Priest?
I mean, we've got a lot of interesting parties in the game right now. We've got Apex, we've got 21st Century, we've got Men of Blood, we've got 10-11, we've got Disparage, we've got a plethora of teams, but I'm gonna be taking a very, very keen eye on Team Apex. They've been absolutely astounding so far, coming into this place. But let's not forget about Invincibles as well. It's very interesting seeing how far they've come. And again, I'm also looking out for their esports. Brand new team that just made it in, and now they've actually made it all the way to the finals. I'm very, very impressed. But there's a lot of work. There's a lot of obstacles for them as well. But I mean, who are you looking forward to see? Because I know you talked about Afro esports. So how you feel it? Do you think they can make it happen?
I've got a very good feeling about Afro Esports coming in here. In especially the first game, we might see a new, surprising new team member maybe showing up. We'll have a look and see. But I'm especially looking forward to 21st Century, as I've enjoyed the gameplay lately a lot. So hopefully, let's see in the finals. In the finals, everything is going to be different. All the teams are going to play it as best as they possibly can, and we can see there on map, it's already starting to kick on off. Who do you think, who's going to be our first engagement here in the first game? Who's going to be an aggressive team?
I've looked all around the map. It's an interesting play zone. We saw it. We saw the playing path all the way from the north to the south or eastern side. So there's a chance that most of these teams will run into each other. I am looking forward to seeing if Invincibles will keep that energy. We've seen how aggressive they can be, and the aggressive style. We saw how it won the Clatter of Clans for them. But I'm looking forward to seeing more teams, step up to that plate. And I am very, very, very excited, for teams such as, the guys from Foul Play, the Extremists, all of these teams that are actually made it into the finals after a lot of duress. Foul Play, the Extremists, they had a very, very tricky one on the last day, but fortunately for them, they got just the right number of points, to get themselves into the finals. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they are going to, maintain that energy.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean, we already have we've got Team Apex in here, we've got 10, 11, 21st Century, we've got Invisible, Cyclone Shield Esports, so many OP teams in this finals that we haven't seen all through the qualifiers, all of these teams in the same lobby going at it. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting, especially first game, coming against these top tier teams coming into this final that's going to head on in and see who's going to take that first chicken dinner.
First chicken dinner will set the tone. I feel it will set the tone for most of these teams. I mean, that northern side looking very, very caked up. This barrage is already there. And the guys from Free Esports also there as well. There's a chance that they might get into a little bit of a skirmish in that northern side. Whoever claims the north will have an easy access into the Rozhok area and a little bit of a central position inside of that zone. You can see the guys from Vibe just quietly and silently just holding up that school area, dead center of the circle. You can also see Habitual Gaming, having the same idea. But most of the teams that are going to have a little bit of difficulty rotating in from the eastern side, even from the western side, Active Gaming and Invincibles, has a chance, that these two teams would clash or get into each other before they make their rotations towards that northern side. Because I've seen, how they play in the past, and I've seen them run into each other time and time again. So now, it's a matter of if they are going to, follow that same path over the couple of weeks or over the past month that we've seen these two teams, clash into each other time and time again, losing players on engagement. Do you think they're going to follow that same strategy, or do you think, they've changed things up?
I think we're going to see a little bit of a change from them because, I mean,
I mean, stopping them early in the game, that could be a strategy that works, but that again could be a strategy that fails woefully. It is all about the calculations of the risk. Is it going to be worth it? Is it what you're trying to achieve? Team Apex, the hottest team on the block right now, they did do a fantastic job of making their presence known throughout the entirety, of the league play and the Super Weekend. But let's not forget, there's a whole lot that goes into the final day. So hope most of these teams, you can see that a little bit of roster changes haven't been applied. I did see Rusty for Team Apex as well. So we're going to be looking out for him as well. Foul Play have been doing their absolute best to hold off in that eastern side, but they have been trying their best to make a little bit of a rotation. The Invincibles as well. We've seen them in the league play, in the Super Weekend, sheer brutality and aggression, and they've been doing a fantastic job of showing their dominance, but I am very, very impressed with the team so far, owing to the fact that, they did not play the finals or of the Hamatan split. So unfortunately, they didn't rack up those points when needed, but now they've got a second chance, they've got a second, opportunity to put something on the board and on the blocks for themselves. So hopefully, I'm seeing the Invincibles, I'm seeing them crack the code. I'm seeing them, make it into the top 3 of this first game just to assert dominance. I've seen them do it before, but hopefully, they can do it again.
100%, 100%. I'm especially looking forward to a little bit more of Men of Blood here as well. I know they've been training hectic hard these last couple of weeks, especially on their scrims, and they're doing very, very well, especially in the SRG scrims, coming up against the same teams that they normally find here in these finals, with some pretty OP teams in there as well. That Men of Blood has now recently started to top those SRG scrim leaderboards. Well, hopefully to see a little bit more from them coming in here in the finals. They know these teams, they know how to rotate. They've played all of the qualifiers, usually with a 2 or 3-man team, managed to get a couple of chicken dinners here and there. So coming in here tonight with a full team, hopefully to see a little bit more from them as well.
Yeah, I am also expecting a lot more from the guys from Men of Blood. There's so much potential in that team. You've got Magic, you've got Rage, you've got Creed, you've got 11. So there's a lot, of players brewing inside of that Men of Blood team. So I'm expecting a whole lot, coming out from them. But we've seen that it's been quite silent so far. We've still got everybody up. Nobody has gotten into an engagement just yet. And that tells you that, yes, this is the finals. Nobody's taking any unnecessary risks. And that tells you exactly what is to play for here, how important the first engagement is going to be for most of these teams. They might not they might sway from the usual path that we've seen them play over the course of the entirety of this split. They might change things up on the last day. So some teams, they would work based off the previous knowledge that they have on some of these teams, and that might be the beginning of their downfall. You need to update your knowledge. You have to work through a couple of things, and you did talk about the SRG scrims. Most of these teams run into each other in the SRG scrims a lot of the time, but but some teams would come into the finals with a different mindset, with a different game plan, based off of what has happened in the SRG scrims. They've seen that these teams play this area, so they've started to mobilize plans that they would use to take out that position that they are trying to hold out for an entirety of this kind of play zone. So I am looking forward to see Moonlight doing Moonlight things for Apex, and the rest of the guys from Apex as well, putting some interesting numbers on the board.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I mean, no one wants to be that first person that gets knocked, especially in a final. And no team wants to get eliminated in the first game in a final. So everyone playing it very, very passively in this first game, testing out the waters, testing out the teams, making sure everyone lands where they normally did their research on. No one went out of place. So everyone is playing it very, very passively coming in here the first game, trying to figure out, especially from the teams where they landed and how they're rotating, where the zone is going to end. I mean, the zone is still stage 1. The zone can shift anywhere. We all know how hard and how harsh these zones can be. So it's going to be a pretty sweaty first game, especially for all these players trying to figure out where they are going to stand in this competition.
You can tell you can see the guys from RSG making their rotation inside of that the play zone. They might encounter some obstacles very, very soon, but the guys from the Invincibles will be holed up just inside here. I was expecting a more of a terrain play from here, but I am seeing the Invincibles an interesting split. They're holding out in this little area just outside of that corner from RSG's position as well. For foul plays, also making their rotation. This might just be an interesting setting here for the guys from Cyclone Shield. I think they've spotted foul play just up north, trying to gather some more intel. Danny Brown just parking towards the southern side. They're just outside of Yasnaya, so there's a chance that some action might be brewing here. And I believe I saw Crusader get tagged up a little bit there, but he will refrain from taking any course of action for the guys from foul play. This might just be the first engagement we will be having, as RSG have already given away their position from this side of the map. And now Crusader will get his HP all the way back up, just trying to reconvene with the rest of the team. They're gathering all the intel to that western side, feeding the rest of his team some more of that information. He does get tagged up again, as you can see. Remember me trying to make a rotation onto the eastern side, trying to play the off angles here. Foul play might be in trouble, as Remember Me is on that eastern side.
We definitely know if Raid Shield Esports here, if they do get that first knock, they're going to start pushing hard, especially if they see it is a team that I can take on. Even though there's not going to be an easy engagement, I mean, Foul Play have proven they do deserve to be in the finals, but I mean, these teams know exactly what their potential is. Can they push or can they not push? You can see there's Station 5 coming up here onto Remember Me, and deciding to turn around and get back to his teammates. We might just see a first knock coming on here. Remember Me trying to find an angle, trying to find that open knock for his teammates. And you can just bet Roach is already close to his vehicle. He's getting ready to push on in. Normally the front line fragger just full on sending it into any team. And now Remember Me starting to pull on back, deciding it's safer, just get that first knock in from the distance and then push on in.
The distance that RSG will have to cover here will be significantly a lot if they're trying to play across the terrain. It is an open space. If they were going to expose themselves just to play across this open area, you can see PlayStation 5 already making a little bit of an interesting push onto that eastern corner as well. But RSG need to be very, very smart with this. They need to be very careful as well, because the guys from Foul Play do have a lot of terrain to play with, and they have no one cracking down into that position. Ladies and gentlemen, we have moved into the phase 2 of the zone, and still nobody has been dropped away, and that tells you why. It is the NPL finals, and nobody is trying to take no risks. Nobody is trying to get knocked away in 16th place, because they know if you do not start with your best foot forward, you're going to fall behind relatively very quickly. RSG still looking for an opening against the guys from Foul Play, but Foul Play have learned significantly over the weeks how to hold their positions, and that is already coming out to play here. Enigma, do you think these teams, the league play and the Super Weekend, do you think it has taught these teams a lot, or it has taught them anything, and they are trying to apply it here? Do you think that all of those weeks of play, has improved most of these teams?
Oh, 100%. I mean, every single scrim game, qualifier game, Super Weekend, every game they play together builds that synergy, teaches them the zones, how these teams rotate, how to play better as a team, to push, to defend, to take compounds, how to crash compounds, etc., etc. So definitely, every single game that these teams have played so far has taught them quite a lot.
And teaching is very, very key here, ladies and gentlemen, because you can see Disparaged, one of the strongest teams in playing compound defense. You can see the airdrop just sitting pretty in the middle of nowhere right there. It's a trap. I'm interested in seeing who's going to fall for that trap, but let's not forget, equally one of the strongest teams to play defense and offense at the same time. 10-11 holding out a little bit of an interesting area and shelter here, uncontested so far, but they are sitting very, very close, very, very close, I might add, to the guys from the Invincibles and Team Apex. They're sitting right in the dead center And it could get very tricky there because Don't Panic will be rotating just too close. And here we go. First action of the game. Foul play. Getting their guns drawn onto the guys from Disparage. And that will be the first body there. An interesting turn of events there. Foul play. Getting the first elimination of the game. I'm sure Enigma did not see that one coming.
No, 100%. I did not expect that at all. Beautifully done by foul play, catching that first player from this barrage off guard, getting the knock and confirm on him. And now this barrage, they're quite heavily split up. I mean, if any one of them, if Station gets knocked, Stallion there in that compound, he's completely soloed out alone. It's going to be incredibly difficult for his teammates to get to him. Even Chaos here, if he gets knocked from this side, it's going to be impossible for his teammates to get to him. They're split up so widely and so far that I don't know. This brass is currently here in the bad, worse position than what foul play is. Foul play playing it beautifully in a 2v2 split. They're on that. They'll have each other's backs. Already see there, they spotted Stallion there inside of that double-story house, trying to find that knock. And look at that beautiful little single picks, beautiful little recoil here from Pels, and beautiful play here by foul play. Definitely a team that has come a very long way as one of the most passive teams. And they're starting to push up a little bit aggressive. They're starting to build that synergy, get that confidence, playing better as a team. And that is the prime example of what you asked earlier. If it did teach them anything, playing this amount of games over the super weekends and all the qualifiers, just look how beautifully they're playing together now.
You have to love, the versatility that these teams have been able to, put in across. And, you talked about it as well. Foul play has been actually very, very impressive, so far. But they did fall off a little bit towards the end of the league stages. I think there was a little bit of internal turmoil, but I think it's been fixed up, and now we're seeing an interesting style of play coming in from Foul play. They're still playing, team huddled up. Yeah, they don't necessarily play splits. They're not a team that plays splits. They play very, very close to each other. They play very, very close to the vest, and that tells you an interesting one to work through here. RSG now, and Disparage getting into a little bit of a 1-2-1-2 there. Stallion has been knocked away, and he might be the victim again this time. Another elimination. Disparage again losing yet another player. But beautiful return coming in from Wach there, and he touches one of the guys from RSG. Manny will be knocked away there by the Car 98, but he will get picked up.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy pick up there. You can see the vibe might just come in for third party here, right next to them as well. And now Rachel Esports might be in a little bit of trouble, especially we got Dream Team going up against Hackle Gaming. This should be a good engagement. And this right on top of each other, and Cruz, he barely escapes those flames, but he is in trouble. Oh, Sting gets knocked out of the buggy as well. Beautiful shots there from Sad. And Dream Team now, they got 2 knocks on him. They got to push on that. And here comes Chris right on top of them. I wonder where is the rest of their teammates. They got 3 knocked currently. Oh, it's only Criminal that's left standing, and he's going to run away. Might just run right into Team Afro here in this compound. And this might be it. This might be our first team to get eliminated here in the first game of the finals, as Criminal does get shot up. He's trying to evade that engagement, trying to get a little bit of placement for his teams. Can he get away from it? Can he do it? Looks like he might just be able to.
Habitual Gaming. It's been an unfortunate turn of events for them and the guys from Dare Esports and Disparage as well. It gets trickier by the second. There's a whole lot of action going on around this area, as the guys from Dream Team are already up 3 eliminations. And it gets equally as tricky here, because Disparage already trying to feed off this intel that they've got here against guys from Team Apex. Chaos just playing behind. He's been spotted. He might just get tagged away, and he is going to hop back into his Lamborghini to get out of the danger zone and follow his teammate out of that tricky position. Again, a lot of work is required to hold down these positions. Disparage have already lost 2 players. Hopefully they will not be losing more, but again, Habitual Gaming, like we saw earlier, will cut down to cut down to one player, courtesy of the guys from Dream Team. It's an unfortunate turn of events for them. But Desperado now will have to work through playing together as a unit so far. They cannot play apart. It is a one versus all in that scenario. RSG up 2 eliminations as well. And now they are looking for more. Playing from they are playing from the northern side, just outside of Yasnaya. They've been able to breach through these areas now, playing the edge of the circle from coming in from the north. They've still got the guys from Vibe behind them, but they can hold out this position at least for the time being. Disparate on the eastern, or rather on the western side, and remember me might just decide to take this opportunity to take this fight onto the guys from Disparate. Here comes Roach, hops out of the vehicle, a beautiful spray coming out from this position, but RSG will just fall a little bit short. They get tagged away by the Invincibles and the utilities start to come out.
You already have a Roach currently knocked there. You got Vark rotating not far from you. You got a Visibles right there. They already lost one player. Oh, down goes Danny Brown as well. And yeah, oh, it's not looking very good here for Rachel. Esports getting tagged from all sides now currently. As man is going to try to get Danny Brown up there quick as well. They might just try and dip from this spot. They got Invisibles on one side. Might come in for first party as well. And team there not too far away inside of that compound also. So not the best of spots here currently for Rachel Esports, especially if another team starts to rotate behind them and tries to third party. They might just get caught up in the open here, especially with their vehicles already being blown out as well. So I think it's the better option here to dip from that location and try again later. And looks like the loss from Haverhill Gaming has just been eliminated as well. So our first team tonight to get eliminated is that of Haverhill Gaming.
Habitual Gaming, unfortunately, biting the dust. But hopefully they will come back stronger in the next game. As you can see, the guys from RSG still playing it from the north, trying to get some more intel.
And foul play now currently have 2 knock. Make that looks like 3 knock for foul play. Only currently Pels left standing, and he is super low, and down goes foul play as well. Our second team to get eliminated, and Dream Team lose a player as well by Bigo here. A beautiful spray with that 4x and M4. A little bit of action here coming in from Team 11.
10-11 doing their absolute best put the pepper onto the guys from Dream Team up onto that northern side. As you can see, Bego starting to spray through, but 21st Century hot on their heels, trying to hold up that position. And Ness looking for an angle, their newest signing for 21st Century. He has been absolutely fantastic for active gaming, but now he's in 21st Century, and now he's about to do something for them. They are trying to take towards those corners. 10-11 still applying the pressure. Shirk sprays into the corner there, trying to find 21st Century, trying to find a leakage and exploit it as well for 10-11, trying to get some points for them as well. 10-11 still holding out, and just by the edge of the circle, there's a whole lot of teams that play exactly like this, and Free Esports as well will be coming up to the scene. It looks like it's going to be a 3-way engagement. The numbers starting to dwindle now. As you can see, 10-11 now is trying to spray through, but 21st Century will catch them first. Quilla with a beautiful spray onto Rumsey's position might just decide to take the push, and now they might expose themselves to 10-11 if they are not careful with this push as well. And Ness pops out with a beautiful spray, sprays Bad Boy Tim's down. He's knocked away, and that's an opportunity now, but Baby will be spotted by Jagaban, knocked away as well. Through Fire will be the next one to catch the bullet, and Ness doing a fantastic job of dealing damage onto the guys from Free Esports. 21st Century now is all left to Jagaban, rotating towards the right hand corner, but the blue zone is dealing damage. Might just catch him off guard, and he does fall, unfortunately. Jagaban getting tagged up again and again. Pharaoh now will be the victim, but he will be spotted immediately as the guys from Free Esports will be sent back packing into the lobby.
So much action coming in here in this stage 5 zone. Now 10-11 might come in for that third party. They already have 2 knocked. In comes those nades. This might be it for 21st Century as well. Or they're all super low, and yeah, they all go down to the blue zone, and that is another team to get eliminated as 21st Century. There, down goes Gatso, and that is it for team there as well. Just like that, we lost 4 teams in literally in 1 minute. Invisibles might just pull up here on a third party as well, as Chaos is just snaking his way from this barrage. Also, just the last remaining solo player. He's got Shawnex right there in his sights. takes a couple of shots, gets him down, beautifully done by Chaos. He might go in for that confirm, pick up 1 point for his teammate. That is probably what I would have done as well. Try and get that kill confirmed on him. Comes Invisibles ordered, nade, almost beautifully cooked. He's got 70 coming in on the side, and he does get taken out. Invisibles can quickly get that revive in on Choco. Beautifully done. But Shornex does get dropped on down by Vibe here from the backside. And Choco get in without getting confirmed. And looks like he does indeed. Sean X still out, bleeding very low out as well. But Team Vibe preventing him from getting up onto that ramp and in. Can they get a revive in on Sean X? He is currently 1 HP, bleeding out. And no, looks like they are not going to be able to get that revive in on him.
Invincibles up 4 eliminations, and they've been doing a fantastic job of holding out that area. But 10-11 even doing a better job. They've got 4 players up, and they are still trying to hold off the guys from Afro to the north, and a little bit of action still on that southern side for them. And 10-11 now, they might be looking for that interesting play. We've seen them do this time and time again. The Invincibles already have 4 eliminations on the board, and this might just be another inkling, another notch on their belt. But the guys from Men of Blood already getting even trickier there. Elimination after elimination. Afro Esports unfortunately will be the victims this time. 11 does get tagged up superstitiously there. Creed has been knocked away, but he cannot pick him up. 11 finally making his way inside of that play zone. He's lost 1 tire, but hopefully he will make it in time, just in time. 11 survives, and now is all left to him to carry the torch for the guys from Men of Blood. Active Gaming just in front. He has to be careful. They've not made his position just yet, but he does have to hold off just a little longer. There's still 8 teams in the cut right here. There's still 23 bodies. Men of Blood need to rise to the occasion here, and it's all left to 11.
Yeah, 11, even as a solo player, he's still not a player that you should take on lightly, as he can still clutch it if he has a good day. But Active Gaming coming in here with a full team and 4 kills on the board, looking very strong here on the edge of this 6th stage of the V zones. You've still got Foul Play up in the Apex as well. Extremists coming in as well. But currently Active Gaming going to gatekeep a lot of people here from this edge of this zone. As they already spot Choco. Mob 11 does take down Choco. Beautiful shots there from 11. And he gets tagged from Traitor on top. Active Gaming taking out Men of Blood. And now Apex focusing on pushing into that edge right there where Active Gaming is, as Rusty's jumping, trying to find an angle. But Active Gaming playing this beautifully. They got solid cover there on those stairs. They're right on the edge of this final zone. They've got the best probability of maybe winning even this game with a full team coming in here.
Ooh. Team Apex using all of the utilities, trying to break through inside of that play zone area, as Moonlight is still prone in the grass, looking for an opening to work through. Kage finally hooks right inside of that play zone, but here come the guys from Vibe. They might just get blown away here. It might get tricky for them. You know how sticky it gets. Kage still trying his best to hold off 2 teams, 1 on his right, 1 just in front. Active and Vibe. Kage all alone. Unicorn gets knocked away, and another opportunity for the guys from Apex to work their magic here. Here comes Kage trying to get an opening, but he gets tagged up and he has to fall back. Apex still trying to hold up. Vibe has been eliminated, unfortunately, and now we might just get a little trickier to work the angles from that position. Shard is getting tagged up. Traitor still knocked away. Nexus will be finished, and Apex will be an active will be sent back by Apex, and that's a beautiful way to look at it now. 5 eliminations for Team Apex, and there's 3 teams in the cut right now. 10-11 still north of that position. They've had a beautiful angle. Don't Panic has been spotted right behind that rock right there, and the rest of the guys from Apex are still trying to circumvent the angles and the corners. Who's going to take the first game though? Don't Panic is still north, looking for an opening to catch Apex, just slipping, but they've already lost Unicorn, so it might just get tricky for Kage, Mula, and Rusty to hold off. They do not have the play zone just yet, might just expose themselves a little bit too much. The Extremists are still here. They've got 3 eliminations, 10-11, but hopefully they will be able to wipe out the rest of these teams, because that is the only way this will work.
Man, 10-11 coming in with a full team into this stage 7 zone. Not bad at all. But still got Apex playing this beautifully, taking out Active Gaming there right on the edge of zone. and they managed to do it successfully without losing a player. 10-11 right onto it. Down. Beautiful shots from Shirks there on top. And he gets down easy and Extremist down to the last two players. Here comes the zone. Julian has to push into that zone. They might run right in front of Apex. 10-11. Can they take out Apex? They got Kage in front. They got Kage right on top of the beautiful shot. Take this down. One shot trying to get away from them. Oh, he jumps right in front of another one. And I think Apex now might just game here.
And that is a 2-for-1 special. Shirks gets knocked away. 10-11 had this one in the bag, but they started to, feel a little bit too confident there. They've lost 2, and that's a 2 versus 2. It's Rusty and Moonlight against Shirks and Don't Panic. But now, will they be able to work the angles there? Don't Panic hops out of the buggy, and the grenade might just land in front of him there. Shirks does get confirmed. Now it's a 2 versus 1, and he doesn't have the play zone, but so does Rusty. Apex will need a lot of work to do here. They've seen the buggy. They know he's right behind it. All they're doing now is waiting for it to finish. 2 versus 1 position. Apex versus 10-11. 7 eliminations for 10-11, and Apex are still trying to climb through. They have the numbers advantage. It's Rusty and Moonlight. Will they shine the light on 10-11 right here? Don't Panic. We've seen how crazy he can get. We've seen how amazing a player he can be, but can he clutch this up? It's the interesting scenario here. Beautiful grenade coming out. Rusty's now trying to find an angle to that position. Rotates right through. He cannot expose himself. Moonlight hops up, and he might just get tagged up immediately from that position, and he does get the knock. Hops into his buggy, but he is going to get rooted by Rusty. Apex will take that chicken dinner for the first game in the finals.
8 kills coming in for Team Apex in first place. Second place, 10-11 coming in with 7 kills. And Extremist coming in third place there with 2 kills. Beautifully played. But I loved how Rusty just made him panic a little bit there with the vehicle. Just kept there around his vicinity until he got up and he been able to get that final kill in to win the game. Beautifully played by Team Apex.
Beautifully played. 7-8 eliminations for Team Apex and a beautiful chicken dinner to boot. I mean, that was absolutely fantastic stuff to watch, and I am a big fan of teams that take the, I'm a big fan of teams that love to take initiative, that love to take action. And Apex played a little bit slow at the beginning, but as the game continued to move on, they started to ramp things up. 10-11 played the exact same way. That's why these two teams just clashed into each other going into the final third. The Extremists, they had a fantastic rotation coming in from that southern side, made it all the way across. Beautiful stuff coming in. But we talk about Apex, we talk about 10-11, and again, it was a crazy game, very crazy game. 8 eliminations for Apex, chicken dinner to boot. They're starting off really strong.
Great start for Team Apex. But let's hear from Fire. Take us through the analyst for the game 1. And we'll see you guys now.
All right. I don't know what's wrong with my cam gone frozen, but just enjoy my face right there while we probably sort things out. But in the meantime, it was an amazing game so far, going down from all of these teams. We'll take a quick break, and we'll see you guys after for some more action. See you soon.
All right, all
Welcome
right, all
back
right.
to our second game here tonight. Priest, what do you think of going into that first game here tonight with Apex winning the first game?
I mean, it's the NPL. You can always expect the unexpected. I mean, if you expect the unexpected, doesn't that make the expected expected? I mean, like what I mean? But
Priest
we
hitting us
did.
with some Dr. Full.
Yeah. But we did see Team Apex do exactly what Apex does. But then that's not to their full power. I've seen them do significantly crazy numbers inside of this particular type of lobby in the past. But hopefully, we see them do a fantastic job in Miramar. And Miramar is also one place that they are equally as strong, but 10-11 is a slightly stronger in Miramar. And most of those teams that love to play from the southern side have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to terrain options. So yeah, the playing path, the map path, all going to be set up in due course to give us a little bit of an idea of the rotational patterns that most of these teams will be forced to take. But will it be beneficial? I don't know. I mean, it's Miramar. Who are you looking forward to seeing in Miramar, Enigma?
Oh, and Miramar, I do love Team Afro's way of playing Miramar. They seem to know Miramar inside and out. Gonna have to wait and see how they're gonna play this one. Can they get up to what we think normally they can inside of this Miramar? So we have Moonlight there already on the right hand screen coming in, and oh, it looks like we still have Erangle's map stuck currently on the left side of the screen. Just ignore that for now. And you can see their foul play, Sharmut already going down there on the kill feed. And it gets confirmed there with the molly as well, please.
Wow, that was relatively very, very quick. We saw the teams how they performed, in Eranjo. We saw that they played it very, very slow. But Miramar is not like that. Most of these teams would just clash into each other unexpectedly and no plan, to work through. Foul play again in the feed right off very, very early. It would be the guy from Afro this time, just receiving a little bit of that damage foul play with PlayStation 5 leading the charge. Afro Esports with two players currently knocked away, but Team Apex as well, we saw them, they just won the last game and they're looking forward to making it 2 out of 2, and it will be very, very impressive if they can actually make that happen. But I am setting my sights on Team Apex. Hopefully they will be able to put some significant points on the board for themselves there. I am very, very impressed with their performance so far. So hopefully we'll be seeing more and more and more of such action.
Yeah, 100%. Currently, foul player right on top of Team Afro. They did get one return knock on in. It's not the place that I have seen foul play before, but looks like they're doing fairly well here, coming against a team like Afro. Getting so much damage in, making do almost 1 HP now. Currently, they did get a revive in. But here comes Amar right in front of Crusader. Who's going to get that first knock in? Can Crusader catch him before he gets inside? No, Amar. Oh, he does get spotted, and Crusader takes down Amar, and he gets the confirm in as well. And now it's back to a 3v3, beautifully played by Foul Play. This is a different team that we know. Definitely not an aggressive team like this. Doing a lot of damage in there. Foul Play just on another mission here. Station 5, Pounds rushing inside, right behind Crusader. Leo goes on down, and they might just stop for Team Afro.
For Afro Esports, unfortunately getting pummeled to bits, and it's all left to Stoner. For Afro Esports, Foul Play are not playing around this time. Afro Esports will have to singe their way out of danger here somehow, some way. They've lost Solo, Neil, and Aimer all at once to the guys from Foul Play, Crusader and PlayStation 5, doing a magnificent job of playing the angles. And you would love to see the current You would love to see the current jackpot skills of Stoner being employed there, trying to get out of that dangerous position that the guys from Foul Play have put into it. Foul Play have learned from their mistakes and they're starting to apply the pressure across the board. Beautiful positioning. I mean, they cinched the guys from Afro Esports into a little bit of a corner and forced them to just play in an untimely fashion, and unfortunate scenes for them because that central position will be held off by the guys from Foul Play for the time being. Beautiful play coming in. Afro Esports, Enigma, you know, you talked about them. You said you were looking out for them, and they're currently the champions for, you know, the Hamatan split. They're currently holding the title for that, but this is not the performance they had in that split. They need to step up their game. What strategies do you think they need to apply right now after watching them these past 2 games?
I think they're just going to continue as they normally do. It seemed to work out for them always, except for now. It was one of those situations, but I feel like foul play currently is like those underdogs. You know, they play so passively, coming through all the qualifiers and the super weekends. You know, just basically chilling it into this finals, and all of a sudden they just take out in the finals their top guns and say like, listen guys, we're in the finals, we're here, we're not here to play around this time. We're gonna hunt a few teams down and manage to stop Team Afro right here. And it looks like Foul Play is still searching for the last remaining Foul Play member, as all three of them is in one vehicle driving around inside of Picardo, trying to find the last remaining player. They're not happy with 3 kills. They want all 4 kills to make up for losing Shamut that early in the game.
Yeah, they're looking for all the eliminations that they can sink their teeth into here, but they do have to be careful. A solo player is still a dangerous player, especially if that player is from Afro Esports. So they do have to be very careful. You know, he might just set his sights on their vehicle, and the moment they hop back inside, he's gonna laser them down. So they do have to be very, very careful. They have to be very, very cautious. You know, a single player is a detriment to anybody because the moment you get knocked away, you're surely gonna be finished, and that is usually the style of play that these teams or players love to employ, especially when they are, you know, down to one player. But Stoner does have a lot of ground to cover, as he is going to be the last player for Afro Esports. But you know, sinking across the lines there could get evenly as tricky, because you can tell that most of these teams outside in the southern side, you know, teams like Men of Blood there, Esports, Disparage, and Active, just coming in from that southern side, will have a lot of work to do. You do have to enjoy the teams that are playing in from the north, 10-11, you know, Habitual Gaming, and those guys will not have any kind of difficulties getting inside of the play zone, you know, in these first couple of zones right now. But, you know, Torha Ahumada, Cruz Divar, you know, Terbronca, all of those places, very, very free for teams to, you know, reconsider as potential positions they want to rotate into. But again, 21st Century will be in the eastern side, they will be in El Azahar, and they will enjoy that position for the time being. But hopefully, you know, nobody's going to crash into them, because you can see the guys from Free Esports and Team Apex might just crash into each other in that central position.
Well, interesting for Team Apex, finding themselves there right on top of Free Esports. Normally they go up to the Cobra area and they normally rotate behind El Pozo down to La Trinidad and then going in. So this time taking on Rate in center zone. Possibly a new drop location coming in here for Apex. Maybe something they practice a little bit of, but oh no, we got Invisibles against Free Esports now. And Team Apex right there on top of them as well might come in for a third party. Going to be interesting to see how this one's going to play out. You think who's going to win between these 3 teams, Priest, if you have to put your caster's curse on a team between Apex, Free Esports, and Invisibles?
You know, I've seen Apex do this, you know, time and time again. I mean, look at their position, look at the splits they're playing. I see them winning this again, you know, maybe not with a ton of eliminations like I'm used to seeing, but I see them doing this again. There's a whole lot of interesting opportunities for them to play right now. I mean, they're literally smack dab in the center of the circle with nobody, you know, playing them from the southern side. All of their enemies are right in front of them, so they do not have any element of surprise, you know, that could disrupt the flow of their information going into these engagements. But the Invincibles have already been able to squeeze a knock through onto the guys from Free Esports, but they could not finish. And now they would have to reconvene and reset their positions out here. God7 all the way back there trying to figure out some intel to work through, as the guys from Free Esports are still going to be heavily dependent on the cover that compound will provide for them. Invincibles do not want the smoke. They do not want to crash into that place without any form of intel, because the guys from Free Esports could be very, very deadly, especially, when you have them cornered. Most of these teams are very dangerous when you have them cornered inside of a position that they are very, very aware of. And ladies and gentlemen, first blood of teams there. Afro Esports finally discovered by the guys from Foul Play. Stoner has been stoned to death, and that will be the end of Afro Esports going out there in 16th place, but they did manage one elimination. So hopefully they will be able to rise up from the ashes coming into the next game.
Yeah, pretty shocking for Afro being Miramar champions normally to going out the first team to get eliminated, especially on their own map. But that's the finals for you. It is so unexpected, especially coming up against teams that all deserve to be in the finals. None of these teams can be taken on lightly.
Yeah, you just cannot underestimate anyone. I mean, take a look at the current champions. These guys are the current champions. Afro are the current champions of the Amatan split. They won the MPL, the first phase of the MPL. They won it without too much stress, I might add, because they won it convincingly. But now they're starting to struggle. I remember the Amatan split finals. The first day they were absolutely tearing through, and now they're finding it so difficult to keep the energy levels up. So hopefully, they will be able to bounce back. We've got 3 days of action. We've still got tomorrow and the next for them to wake up and smell the roses. But Free Esports, also one of those teams that I'm interested in seeing how they're going to move based off of this circle shift that we're about to see. I believe the circle is going to shift a little bit towards the northern side, but I could be wrong. I mean, most of these teams, it would be very interesting to see how they would react to the zone shift. Enigma, I mean, take a look, the West.
Yep, normally these zone shifts are hectic, making it extremely difficult for IGLs to read the map. And from especially in stage 1, from stage 4, it's a little bit easier to figure out where this final zone is going to go to. But the first 3 zones, the shifts are just too hectic to get into that center zones. And then another thing, you don't really want to be in a center zone position, as I mean, on an edge, you only have to focus on who's in front of you. If you are in the center, you have to focus on whoever is around you. 360, everyone wants your compound. Now we've got Apex here still on top of Free Esports. Free Esports are currently stuck there in that position. But if they're quite solidly inside of that zone, they don't need to move at all. They can just gatekeep whoever comes their way. And Free Esports definitely do know how to defend any compound or area. We've seen them do this a couple of times. We got Play Zone taking out Archer. Maybe Archer, that Wish internet is not the best type of internet, as I do believe he was an AFK player.
Unfortunate scenes for the guys from Dream Team. You do not want to have a disconnected player, that is for sure. But now the guys from Free Esports are still holed up in this building. Vibe just pulled up to the scene, but they are going to be making a rotation around that area. They might run into the guys from RSG. There's a whole lot of teams making their rotation right now on that western side. There's a whole lot of chaos brewing in that area. Even the guys from Men of Blood right behind. 3 teams in this area. RSG getting spotted out. Danny Brown pulls up to the scene, and here comes Vibe. UMP in hand, trying to face through, but Danny Brown hops into the car to the face side, and Danny Brown will knock him away. Beautiful abilities from RSG. Danny Brown hopping into the vehicle right outside of the other side will get the knock. You can only see that in top tier players. Beautiful stop. Supremo pulls up to the scene as well, but Danny Brown unfortunately getting overwhelmed by 2 players. He will get confirmed immediately because that's how dangerous he is. Unfortunately, RSG have lost 1 player. Will they lose another? And here comes comes Manny. He's been knocked away as well. But Taiwo will be the next one to go, courtesy of the guys from Men of Blood. Third Party Central is the name of the game, but Manny will get picked up. He might get tagged away as well. Roach all the way down to 1 HP, and here comes 11. Gets him knocked off, and the utility starting to come out from Remember Me there. Vibe also on the other hand trying to get their numbers all the way back up as well. 11 singeing through the guys from RSG, and Men of Blood surely now will take this opportunity to pull up to the scene. But Remember Me still trying to get his teammates back up, as Vibe have finally got one of their players back up, but they've unfortunately lost one. An opportunity now to reset for RSG, and they will get the job done. That escalated really quickly.
Oh, shit goes on now for Men of Blood. Vibe gets completely eliminated by Men of Blood. Creed will he get the revive? They got 2 down. Rage Shield Esports, Roach currently down. It's a 2v2. It's Rage and 11. The only 2 up versus the last 2 for Rage Shield Esports, Manny and Remember Me. But Invisible's now starting to pull up a little bit closer as well. And a pretty good push from the Rage Shield Esports. This turned very ugly very quickly with all this third party coming into play, especially from Men of Blood. They knocking 2 of their players, then losing a player. Now it's back to a full team for Men of Blood versus the 2 from Rage Shield Esports. Can Rage Shield Esports gatekeep Men of Blood here? Can they defend that compound across from them? Can they get a couple of knocks back in? Or is Invisible going to come in for third party and ruin both of his teams' chances here on a successful push?
Guys from Men of Blood stalking. They're waiting for RSG to slip up, but RSG will not give them the satisfaction. Rage is still scanning his surroundings. He's trying his best to look outside, so hopefully they do not get pulled up on by another third party. But somehow they do have all of their players up. They do have a compound to play and defend, and hopefully they will be able to succumb to their wits and wiles. RSG still in the vicinity, looking for an opening to work through.
Yeah, beautifully played.
Remember Me
Men of Blood
and Manny,
coming in with this third party, getting 3 kills with a successful third party, managed to stop a successful push from Rage Shield Esports. And this might work in favor from the rest of the teams. Watching the kill feed, maybe seeing these teams get dropped on down, as those are the teams that normally make it with 3 or full teams into that final zones.
The final zones, it takes a whole lot, for teams to crack into that final side of, the circle. There's a whole lot of interesting plays that these teams have started to, put on the board right there. Dream Team, unfortunately, will be a little bit of victims of touch and go there. Archer has been swept back into the lobby, but RSG now continuing their onslaught onto the guys from Men of Blood. Oh, a beautiful grenade from Manny, opening the gates now, as RSG are looking for an opportunity to breach through, and grenade after grenade, smoke after smoke, as Manny has opened the door. An opening now has been discovered. RSG trying to find an opening through the left side and the right as well. Manny trying to phase through the left, but he might get tagged up from that opportunity now. Men of Blood trying to hold on. RSG breaching through. Manny still trying to find that angle, but Remember Me does get tagged and dropped away, and now it's an opportunity for the guys from Men of Blood to fight back. Shaq with a grenade there, trying to bounce it through the corners, and it might just be bouncing in the Lord, and he bounces right through, right in front of Manny with a beautiful touch. And Men of Blood now have the upper hand once again. RSG down to the last player, and now it might just be time for the guys from Men of Blood to take some blood away from RSG.
Yeah, things are just not working out for Rage Shield Esports here coming into the second game. Every push they do, it looks like a successful, good push, and then just something happens and they get knocked on. Or Dream Team Sad gets eliminated there as well, as it's all down to lose it now currently. Havel's thing goes down there in the kill feed as well. Rage Shield Esports, Manny YT still alive, still trying to gatekeep a full pushing team here from Men of Blood. Shaq gets on the beautiful shots there by Manny YT. Not a player to take on lightly. He has the skills, but he's got a 3-man team still right in front of him. Rage right in front of him, going up those stairs. Creed getting the revive there on the backside. Oh, he gets a nice little tag in from the side, but it does eventually go on down in 14th place. And unfortunately, they are the next team to sit back in the lobby.
Ooh, Cyclone Shield, an fortunate turn of events for them. They've been sent back into the lobby, and now they will need to come back again to raise something for themselves into the last two games. But their esports have been having the time of their lives here, as Prox has been spotted by Habitual Gaming. For Habitual Gaming, he gets knocked away and blown to smithereens. Will get confirmed by Dami of their esports. They're now up 3 eliminations, and more and more and more. They might just be getting tagged up by Criminal. Return fire is brilliant, but the utility is starting to come out from Dami there. They will be able to loot all of those boxes that have been delivered to them courtesy of the guys from Habitual. There's a lot of utilities. I mean, take a look, Enigma. They're having fun with it. They're just taking whatever they want.
Exactly. Now, currently in the lead is a Foul Play and Men of Blood, both on 4 kills each. Team Day currently on 3 kills. The Invisibles on 2 kills. The rest of the team, Cyclone Shield Esports, Team Vibe, and Afro, the 3 teams that has been eliminated. Now we got Foul Play here on Team Desperage. Foul Play did lose Shamut quite early in the game against Active Gaming, but now they're going up against a full Team Desperage, and this is a completely different team here coming up in this Miramar, especially for a team like Foul Play that normally played very passively in the first few stages of the zones, trying to rotate, figure out where this final zone is going to be before they make their plays. Coming into this finals, and it looks like they're just pushing anyone they can see. They're just pushing. They got an Active Gaming right there in front of them as well. What do you think about this new Foul Play team, Priest?
Mean so impressive, so impressive. They are not even holding back. They have been absolutely beautiful to watch. But will they be able to keep that energy, going further into the games tonight? There can be a little bit more that would be required. Desperage, equally one of those strong teams in Miramar. We've seen them be, very, very ruthless with their rotations, but we've also equally seen them win time and time again, not with a lot of eliminations, but with perfect zone placement, and that is what we love to see. Desperage now setting their sights onto the guys from Foul Play. They will be making a rotation from the western side, so hopefully they will not get knocked away. Team Apex have been able to get 4 eliminations right out of the blue there, and that is Team Apex for you. Very, very, very impressive team so far. So they will be able to get some points on the board for themselves going into the next phase of the circle. Enigma, I mean, we talked about Team Apex's ability, but let's not forget Disparage are very, very strong when it comes to Miramar, and I think they're gonna clock it into the top 5. Do you see that happening?
Oh, 100%. Desperage, definitely, especially in a Miramar game. I haven't seen a lot from them on the Sanok map, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play the next game coming in with the Sanok, if they focus a little bit on the rotation. But I got a first knock on Foul Play as Crusader goes on down, and now it's down 2 Pals to get that revive right next to him. But it looks like Desperage, they are going to push on in as Chaos and Boji both head in first into that knock. Right on top of Crusader. Is that going to be unable to get that knock on? Oh, and it jumps right into the flames there. Boji was just not playing around. He wants that knock quick and easy. Pals goes on down to Chaos. And now it's 2v2. Boji and Chaos. Right. Oh, Station 5 jumps right in front of Boji. And that is a beautiful push there by Desperage as the duo takes out Foul Play.
Ooh, PlayStation 5 turned into a dispatch rider as he delivered himself to the clutches of the guys from Disparage, and they are up now 3 eliminations, and that is a beautiful, beautiful play coming in. And we talked about Disparage and their ability to play outside and inside of Miramar, so we do love to see that. Now Active Gaming getting singed up here. Shad has been knocked away, but a reset, it looks like there is going to be a possibility for that. But coming in from this position all the way out there from the south, there's a lot of bodies in that area. The guys from Disparage just coming in from the eastern side and making their rotation as well without losing any single player. It could prove detrimental. Shag does get confirmed on unfortunate scenes for Active Gaming. They've lost 1 player. Hopefully they will not lose more. Traitor is getting tagged up all the way by Team Apex, who are holding a fantastic position all the way out there in the western side. There's a whole lot, that they could play from here, but they might just be getting bombarded here by Kage. Kage with a beautiful position, trying to spray down from that area, but he's going to get tagged up by Desperat. And again, they will need to choose wisely. What do they want to do here? Do they want to fight the guys from Active, or do they want to get into a better position inside of the play zone?
Oh, Team Apex 2 dropped down simultaneously, and suddenly Apex is on a back foot as Rusty and Kage both go down. It's all down to Unicorn now. Can Unicorn get a revive on one of the teammates? He's got Active Gaming right in front of him, making it very difficult for Unicorn to get out of there. Inside of the blue even still, as blue zone on stage 5 is not going to be a friendly zone.
It is not friendly at all. Unicorn trying his absolute best to put Traitor back into the ground, but he does get blown away. Team Apex, and that will be the end of them, courtesy of Active Gaming escorting them back into the lobby. Beautiful play coming in from Active Gaming, but Apex made the wrong choice. They should have chosen the play zone instead, but they chose to do battle with Active, and Active showed them how active they could get. 10-11 continue on, and my caster curse has caster cursed. Apex has been sent back into the lobby. It's an unfortunate turn of events, but now 10-11 holding on, trying to hold off the guys from the Invincibles. God 7 has been knocked away. Bego now trying to get a confirmation there. Don't panic, blows them to smithereens, and Invincibles now have been sent away by 10-11. Beautiful play coming in from 10-11 to send them all the way back into the lobby. 4 eliminations for them, Enigma, and still we've got 22 players inside of the circle.
Stage 5 zone, 22 players still alive, 7 teams. It's still anyone's game here coming into the second Miramar game. Active Gaming does get a knock on Disparage Chaos, but Disparage is in a pretty solid spot currently inside of that zone. 10-11 as well, coming in strong with a 3-man team here with 4 kills on the board already. He's got Stallion not too far away inside of that zone. Currently, Desperate coming in with a full team. Can his teammates get to him to get revive in vogue? It's got a lot of players to rotate through. 21st Century still in there on the bottom 5 as well. And it looks like Chaos tried to get a little bit of an angle here on his team, but he got caught out in open. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that revive and in, as the zone is going to push them all out. Active Gaming getting ready to push on in, but I do have the Extremist inside of that compound as straight to top G gets blown on up. And our Active Gaming down to Nexus and Rolls. And it looks like Traitor might get confirmed. He does get confirmed. Down to the ground to his last few teams. 7 teams alive. Who do you think is going to take it, Priest?
Oh, there's a whole lot of bodies in the cut right here. Desperate unfortunately did lose Chaos. He was swept away, trying to find an angle there, and that was an unfortunate angle that he did try to work with. It took a little bit more, he bit off just a little bit more than he could chew there, but he did feed, some intel to the rest of his team, and they were able to utilize and capitalize on that one, sending to one of the players from Active Gaming back into the lobby, and that's what we love to see. 10-11 now on the rear end, trying. They have a beautiful position inside of that zone. I mean, take a look at their spread; is absolutely fantastic. This barrage still coming in from the south eastern side, and take a look at Criminal from Habitual Gaming all the way out there in the west, uncontested. 21st Century equally on the southwest, trying to make a way inside of that play zone for themselves as well. But this barrage will still have their sight set onto the guys from Active, trying to keep them at bay. Watch all the way outside, just outside of that circle, and trying his absolute best to put them on their backs. But 10-11 with a beautiful position, like I said earlier. I mean, this is literally the kind of position that wins you chicken dinners. All you have to do is continue to be consistent.
Exactly. 10-11 currently in a very solid position inside of that zone, as well as Men of Blood. And Men of Blood coming in with a full team there, not looking very bad at all. Beautifully situated inside of that warehouse. But Shaq does get spotted here by Stallion. Stallion unfortunately not getting that knock. Rolls gets spotted there by Wolf, and he goes on down, and he's going to get confirmed as well. So there's only 1 left for Active Gaming. 10-11. I think it's going to be between 10-11 and Men of Blood here for this chicken dinner, unless one of those teams mess up pretty badly. Shaq trying to cross that road inside of the smoke there, but Stallion doing a lot of damage. And Men of Blood do have their first player on his knees. Can they get it reviving? Are they going to win that engagement? They still have Avril Gaming here, Criminal on the backside, and you got Stallion on top giving cover fire as well. And you got 10-11 way off in the distance, just gatekeeping everyone currently. And it looks like now 10-11, they have the final zone. They've got stage 7 locked and loaded. They might just take this game. They can gatekeep everyone. Men of Blood managed to get that revive and then back to your full team. And you've got this barrage here with the last 2 remaining players just on the edge, right on top. Don't panic, just go on down. And says this barrage might just throw this game for 10-11. If they can get another knock on here with Men in Blood pushing on up, that might just throw the game here for 10-11.
Ooh, beautiful position by 10-11 coming in here. Don't Panic has been knocked away, but hopefully they will be able to get him all the way back off. Snuffy still playing on the rear end, but Bego does have an opportunity to get that reset onto Don't Panic, as Rage from Men of Blood is trying to put out the utilities to cross the road, and he might just be that chicken that crossed the road right now. The smoke grenade comes out, he might just get tagged up, and beautiful spray from Bego, putting him down on his knees immediately there, and 10-11 now might just get back to full strength. The reset onto Don't Panic might just change the game here. Stallion on the other end sprays towards the guys from Men of Blood. Confirmation onto Rage from Bego. Now they're up 8 eliminations. Disparage down to 2 players. They've also got 6 eliminations, trying to hold off his top 3 right now, and they're not trying to be third. Shaq is pulling up from the rear end. He's been heard, but Wyatt is going to get out of that danger zone and move his vehicle into a better spot to give him a little bit of cover. Grenade after grenade, utility after utility. Disparage now trying the absolute best to fight through the corners there. Here comes Shaq again through the smoke. He's phasing through, and Wyatt is there, and that will be the end of Men of Blood. And now 10-11 will use this opportunity to 3 versus 1. They are looking for Wyatt now, trying to send him back into the lobby. 10-11 took second place in the last game. Now they are looking to take first, but Snuffy gets knocked away. But Bego and Don't Panic are there, and they will seal that chicken dinner. 10-11 with 10 eliminations. Enigma. Now the game is on.
Beautifully played by 10-11. As I thought that this barrage might take down 10-11, it just turned around with Men in Blood running right into this barrage, and 10-11 manages to get that revive. And 10 eliminations coming in with a chicken dinner in the second game. Beautifully played by 10-11. This barrage in second place, coming in with 7 kills. Very nice. Best companion there, 11 from Men of Blood. Not bad at all. So what do you think about that game, Priest? That was a different game coming in here with the first game.
You know, I did mention it earlier in the game, you know, that 10-11 was better in Miramar than Team Apex. And the moment Apex, you know, got eliminated by Active Gaming earlier on, when they chose, you know, to take the fight against them instead of prioritizing the play zone, I knew that that was going to be curtains for them. But Disparage, you know, we talked about them, beautiful, solid team when it comes to Miramar, and they did not disappoint. You know, 7 eliminations, second place finish. That is what we love to see. But 10-11, second place in the previous game, chicken dinner now. They are starting to set the tone. They are starting to do something, and we're starting to see that, you know. But let's not forget, Men of Blood have been absolutely fantastic so far. 12 eliminations to them. But, you know, let's take it over to the hostess. Let's take it over to Fire. Let's see what Fire has to say. Fire, I'm sure he watched that one with his toes curled up.
Yeah, definitely. That game was absolutely fire right then for the beginning to that very end. It was quite difficult to follow through on every single fight. And what an amazing cards coming in from, of course, Priest and Enigma. Beautiful games that we've seen in the first and in the second game so far. So do remember, guys, to hit that like and hit that subscribe. Let's get the likes going up, and, you know, get the algorithm to keep on pushing our community up. All right, so we're done with 2 games for the night. We still got so much action to go for you guys, so we'll take a quick break right now, and we'll see you guys in a couple of moments.
first. And I think it's time we talk it out and forget all the fuss. And if it's not me, I'll have to understand, and I'll be out your way. No drama involved, but if you feel it's me, if you feel I'm the one, you're gonna need to make a way for me to see. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. But as for me, you're the one in my heart. Time won't come till the end, I'ma always be right by your side. I know you're the one. I know our time will come. I feel it in my heart. I see you in my dreams. I keep you in my prayers. That's what
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nigerian Pro League. It is season 6. It is the rain split finals. It is still your boy Priest bringing you all of the action. And I'm with my main man here, Enigma. Enigma has been enjoying himself so far. He's not trying to... He's been catching a break behind the scenes. You guys don't even know. This guy is chilling, man. He's chilling. He's catching crews out here. But Enigma, how have you seen the game so far? Me, 2 matches in. 10-11 have blown us away. Apex have got a chicken dinner. Disparage turned up in Miramar. Foul play have showed some serious aggression. Now we're heading into Vikendi. What are you expecting?
Man, a Vikendi match coming into a final that...
Okay, so I think we're having a little bit of an audio thing. So, okay.
All right, looks like there's a little bit of difficulty, but it looks like they're going to fix it as we go. But we're going to jump into our Vikendi game and see who's going to take home our first third chicken dinner.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, he had an that was an interesting take from Enigma, but yeah, we can't even deny, so far the performances we've seen. But now we're looking into Miramar. We've looked into Miramar. We've seen, how teams would play there. Now we're heading into Vikendi, and now I can't even tell, what teams are very very strong in Vikendi, like we could tell in Miramar. So there's a whole lot of strategies here, but I've seen active gaming very very salient on this map. So hopefully I'm going to be looking for more of active gaming into this game. But Apex is also there, so he could take a little bit more from them, from that engagement that they've been able to muster up. We're 2 players short, but that is not going to be a detriment to any of these players, I am sure. But going into this game, Enigma, what are you thinking? Do you think how crazy Vikendi zones are? Do you think playing inside of a compound or playing around the terrains would be much more beneficial, owing to the type of lobby this is?
Me personally, I would suggest taking hills instead of compounds, as it just defends easier. There's so many compounds around. And just look at that zone. 50% of that zone in stage one is already in the water. We're going to have a pretty fast pace action coming in here into this game, as there's not a lot of compounds. We only have Peshkova, Trevno, and Cosmodrome, the coal mines and Zabava inside of that zone. A small little piece of that Kresnik mountain inside of the edge of the zone already being taken by Habrel Gaming. But I mean, obviously,
I do apologize, guys. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty picking up audio from Enigma, so it's a little bit tricky here. I'm not picking up his audio, so the production team is trying to get it fixed for that right now.
All right. Well, yeah. While we're sorting that out.
All right, we're trying to work out the kinks, well, from the projection team. So hopefully we'll get Enigma's, or I will be able to get Enigma's audio back up. But yeah, so before that pans out, interesting zone, and just before the zone, phased out, we talked about it. And I think Enigma's audio will come back very, very shortly to me, and I think everything is going to be I think everything is going to be fixed right about now. So Enigma, how are you feeling? What are you saying? Is the audio better? Is it fixed up?
Well, for me, I can hear you perfectly.
All right, we good. Yes,
there we go.
Finally,
nice.
There we go. And Enigma, take a look at the zone all the way up north. And we talked about this crazy zones in Vikendi, and now 10-11 already making the proactive choice of playing it from the northwestern side, getting their rotations early and very, very quick. And I love to see proactive teams, 10-11, taking the initiative to do the exact right thing. Do you think this decision is a little bit too early? Do you think they should have just waited, played it a little slower? Take a look at Dream Team over there, all the way out there in Winery, very, very southern. Now, do you think Dream Team will be able to make it into this zone? Because, it's a very, very long distance to travel. There's so many obstacles. How would you do it, if you were Dream Team? Would you fight teams and build your elimination points first? Or would you just try to make that mad dash across the zone into that northern side?
Well, I mean, currently where Dream Team is situated, I'll take the long game. Heal as many meds as you can. Do a very late rotation inside of the blue, possibly. Especially just for the first 2 stages of the zone, because you already have 50% of that zone inside of the water. You only have 4 big cities currently inside of that zone. That is it. There's a little bit of compounds here and there, a little bit of hills and rocks and trees you can take on, but there's not a lot of cover there for 16 teams. So let those that are closest to the zone get into that zone, do what they need to do, get that kill points on end, take each other out, and play the long rotation and go in for the win. That is what I would play. How about you, Priest?
I mean, yeah, that's a solid strategy, But then again, you might take it, it might take away from um your elimination points. If you play that slow, teams will start to dwindle. The numbers will start to reduce. Eliminations will start to fly all around the place. But again, the point system does not necessarily favor that play style. It would, but then again, it would also be smart because you would have more players going in towards the end zone of the game. There will be more. You would have a complete squad. You would not necessarily have to, battle for utilities. You would have a lot of utilities. So yeah, there's pros and cons to almost every single thing. But it was always good to be early. That's me. I would always love to be very, very early, be on the right side, be very, very quick. But this Parade, unfortunately, rotating a little bit too close to the guys from Men of Blood. Stallion jumping in with both feet, getting sent all the way back by the guys from Men of Blood. Men of Blood once again coming out very, very clutch there as Chaos tries to make a mad dash for it as two of his teammates unfortunately will fall to the guys from Men of Blood as Rage and the rest of the guys from MOB will be getting picked up. Apex still out there on the eastern side trying their rotation just south behind the guys from Disparage. Again, it could get very, very messy for most of these teams. As you can see, 21st Century and the guys from, I believe, Dare Esports getting to a little bit of a squabble.
Exactly. And that is exactly what I just explained. If you're quite close to the zone, go for that center position immediately. Take on that set. As you can already see, a team there focusing on 21st Century, getting that return knocks on in. And out there is going to rush into that 21st Century. Two players to get the confirms and get that revives on in. So, like I said, there's pros and cons. Now with these teams close to the zone, rushing on in for the best compounds, they get those early kills, but they're losing a lot of players in the way as well. Where a team like Dream Team that is so far away from the zone, instead of just full on rushing it early in between all of these teams already fighting and losing a player or two, take that long run and take your kills and placement points closer to the end of the game here. As Team Demi might just lose two players, are they going to struggle to get Gato back up? But Demi right there in front of one of the remaining 21st century players they currently knocked, as it is Villa 77 bleeding out there in front of him, as well as Baby. It's all down to Pharaoh currently, as Baby did get knocked on down. Can Pharaoh get Baby back up? Or is 21st Century going to lose three players here, as they is coming in for the revive there on Gato? And Kola does get... Oh, Gato does bleed out as well. And Team Damien down two players only with 21st Century that's going to get two up as well. It's going to be a 2v2, two kills on both sides, but it did cost him two players as well. Stay coming in for a rotation here on the top set behind him now. And this might just work out if he does not get knocked, as Me is coming in from the backside. But Stay on this side. He gets the first knock on in, and he takes down for a beautiful spray from Stay. One spray, two down. Beautifully done by Team
Dare. Daring to eliminate. Bodies on bodies, though. 4 eliminations to the guys from Dare Esports, and that is what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic work coming in from Dare Esports. They're outplaying the guys from 21st Century. You would not see it anywhere else, but Dare Esports showing their stuff, showing exactly what they're made of, showing exactly why they should be in the finals and why they are in the finals. A beautiful play coming in from the guys from Dare Esports. It could take a little bit of refinement, though. You could take a little bit more, but have the beautiful grenade just falls a little bit too short from Crux. Habitual Gaming now trying their absolute best to work the angles from that position. It's a grenade versus grenade, but whose grenade connects first? Crux's grenade is better, and it will do a job of sending the HP bars all the way down for the guys from Vibe. Vibe have not been able to find their Vibe just yet, but Taiwo is looking for that opening with his own grenade, trying to loop it in from the top corner, and it's a fantastic one just across, but he does not have all the right ideas or all the right angles to make it happen from Habitual Gaming. Have not been having the best starts to the finals so far, but hopefully they will be able to rise to the occasion, as Criminal and Sting will be able to just navigate towards that southern side, trying to find an opening, onto the guys from Vibe.
But here comes 10-11 for third party on the side as well, and that might just be the spanner for whatever team gets the first knock and can prevent a successful push here from Habitable Gaming or from Vibe. And you got it's Active Gaming on top of it. I thought it was 10-11. My apologies. Active Gaming coming in here with third party right in front of Habitable Gaming, and they might just stop whoever pushes in first into the open. But both of these teams just holding positions, waiting for that first knock. And I think Vibe did hear them pulling up there across the road from them there. You can see there Afro and Team Apex on that eastern side starting to rotate in. But look at the amount of bodies inside of that early zone there. You've got the Raid Shield Esports coming up against the Dream Team up there as well. Men and Blood looking very solidly on the edge there. No one close to them at all.
Men of Blood, they are in the vicinity trying to gather some more intel and make their push. But the guys from Vibe have a big mountain actually to climb here, because the guys from Active just pulled up to the scene. And we did talk about Active Gaming. They are very, very ferocious when it comes to, Vikendi, and they show us time and time again how crucial they can be. RSG now getting their guns drawn onto the guys from Dream Team. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4. And Roach is out here looking for more, but Active Gaming bagging some interesting utilities, Reels with Nexus, Shad, and Traitor doing a fantastic job of holding out this position. But Vibe do a better job of playing a defensive position inside of the compound or building. So Active Gaming have a lot of ground to cover. They have a load of work on their hands, but Reels is still looking for that opening. He's trying to find somewhere the guys from Vibe will be caught slipping, because Habitual Gaming is still north, and it's a pretty big peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now, because Vibe is the jelly and Active Gaming with Habitual are trying to squeeze them out, staying outside, looking for that opening. A beautiful grenade being lobbed in here might just be able to do the trick.
Oh, that is a beautiful position currently from Stingia on the side, but he might just get spotted by Active Gaming on the side if he's not careful. But his position currently right here where he is exceptionally well, especially if Vibe pushes in. But he does have Croops that is all alone there. And it looks like Vibe is starting to initiate a push here, as starting to push in and closer with Criminal on the roof. And Vibe now right there below him. Croops in the opposite building. How's this one going to work on out? Is Active Gaming going to stop Team Vibe here from doing a successful push? Or are they going to stop maybe Habitable Gaming? As Active Gaming does take down Criminal, and the third party stops them right there in the tracks. And that's all down to Cruz. And it's got Sting here on the side all alone.
The guys from Vibe, they can hear the chaos, they can hear the commotion, but Sting's position is absolutely brilliant. But he cannot show or tip his hand just yet. He might expose himself to the guys from Vibe, but the reset will come on to Criminal. He has been picked back up. Habitual back at full strength, but they do not have the numbers. Vibe do have the numbers. Active has the numbers as well. But will they be able to use those numbers to do anything? Reels and Shad charging 2 grenades in hand, but a grenade will not be sent through by Reels. Instead, he pockets his grenade once more, and Vibe is still looking for that opening, looking for that position. All of these guys playing neighbors, and that's an opening that they've been looking for. Criminal gets tagged up again. Vibe singeing through the building, sending them packing one after the other. Criminal again trying his absolute best, but he will get snuffed out again. Active Gaming surely have heard this commotion, and now they would use this opportunity to breach right through. Guns is still drawn on the ground. He might just be getting picked back up here. Vibe trying to get themselves all the way back to full strength. Active Gaming, they can hear all of the action, but they'll still be set back by the rest of the players from Vibe. Supremo and Ty were doing a fantastic job of keeping them at bay, and Vibe will continue with a beautiful defensive position. And I talked about this, Enigma. Defensive positions in the Candy, in buildings, is always going to be very, very key.
Oh, 100%. That's why I hate buildings. I mean, you've got limited room to move around, and there's so many windows. You don't know what a team is cooking. I prefer the hills instead. You know, like you can move easily around a rock or tree or your vehicle. It just defends easier for me. That is my personal opinion. And our Active Gaming starting to push in here on to Team Vibe with the top G already nade in hand. Now he's in 4. right there, Molly or Smoke there in front of him. Down goes Gone 7, knocked and first, and Vibe lose their first player down to 3. It's a 4v3. Nexus is quite low, but no problem at all. They got down goes Top G. Can they stop Vibe right here? They got a 3-on-1 currently situated there in the shower. He's trapped. Down goes Supremo. Nexus and Top G is down for Active Gaming. It's a 2v2. Can Vibe defend against Active Gaming here, Priest?
So a tricky position there. Reels walks a little bit too close for comfort to the Molotov cocktail and it starts to burn. Shard gets the confirmation onto Taiwo's position. And Active Gaming doing a fantastic job of holding the door against the guys from Vibe. It gets trickier by the second, but Reels' grenade might just be the one that connects instead. And a better position here. Active Gaming doing a fantastic job of resetting their players. And now they are trying their absolute best to work it from that angle. But again, it gets so difficult. Vibe couldn't make the push. They got 2 knocks, but that absolutely poor experience from Vibe is what is going to cost them, because they did get 2 players knocked away. They did have the reset and the opportunity to make the push onto the guys from Active. But, you know, I think it was just an unfortunate scene of cold feet. They couldn't see it finish. And here comes Chad. He's getting tagged up. But the fact that Active Gaming is so experienced, you just cannot get one up on them, and Vibe will be sent back into the lobby with the quickness.
Yeah, it looked like Vibe was ready to get on that roof, and then he got stuck on that corner, and Active Gaming was just, nice little hit there, takes them all out, beautifully done. In the meantime, Apex and Apex and Afro both have been eliminated. I wonder if it was a third party. We missed that action, but 2 of the most aggressive teams in this lobby have been eliminated as well. And now currently Invisibles with Team D and Free Esports all looking very good there. Center zone with Extremists taking down the Cosmo drone. Raid Shield Esports almost centered there, and Men in Blood starting to rotate in closer towards with Desperage got eliminated. Foul play coming in here from the eastern side. Dream Team with a late rotation coming here way south. Managed to get into that zone. And looks like they're slowly starting to rotate closer towards that central area.
That central area might be a deciding factor to most of these teams, as the western side will be held by the Invincibles, so they will not have anyone just running amok in that area, because Active Gaming in a beautiful position still. They're still on the southern side. There could be a little bit more work required for them to hold up from that position, but the northern side looking very tasty for the guys from Free Esports and the Invincibles. I do believe that they have a little bit of the same idea, you know, coming in from that position. Free with 1 elimination along the line, and 2 for the guys from Foul Play. So they are going to be looking for a little bit more, you know, to put the numbers up. They did get a significant number in the previous game in Miramar with that engagement with Afro Esports just inside of Picado, winning it, you know, every single time. So that is beautiful stuff that we love to see. I am a big fan right now of Crusader, the way he moves, the way he plays for the guys from Foul Play. That's a beautiful signing that they just got on the board. So I'm looking forward to seeing more action from Crusader and the rest of the guys from Foul Play coming into this you know, the 4th stage of this circle. They've got 2 eliminations, and there's a potential for them to clash into the guys from RSG just north of that position. And I think you know, the way that Foul Play have been playing this, you know, slow and steady wins the race, you know, for Vikendi, you know, because they did not necessarily play a lot of Super Weekends or action or games inside of Super Weekend. So yeah, you know, strategies will come into play coming into this final third. So I'm looking forward to seeing more action from Foul Play. We saw how aggressive they can get. So yes, aggression is the way I'm looking forward to Foul Play. So hopefully, you know, that could be the strategy that works here.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Foul Play coming into this finals, especially for a passive team that I know that normally takes it very slow in the first stages of the zones, doing incredibly well with their pushes and engagements here in the first 2 games. Hopefully they can keep it up through the whole of finals, but so far I'm thoroughly impressed with Foul Play's recent development that I have brought in here into this finals.
Yeah, super, super impressed. 10-11 now. We'll set their sights onto the guys from the extremists. Bego with the 4 times on his AKM bouncing around. Cannot be able to keep the shots down, but Active Gaming now will run into the guys from RSG. And I believe that is Danny Brown that they were able to catch on that eastern side. Manny will try his absolute best to spray through. Reels does get tagged up again. Has to be very careful not to overextend or expose himself from that position. Danny Brown now on the western side. Manny comes in for support. Traitor is there, charging the grenade. Reels has a grenade in hand as well, trying to pop it through. And Danny Brown does get tagged up. A beautiful grenade might just fall through again, falls through that corner. But Roach again with a beautiful grenade of his own will send Reels all the way back and will have to reset his position. But Traitor is there. Gets Manny knocked clean off. Danny Brown, a dangerous 1 versus 1 player. They have to push him as a squad. That is the only way. But Danny Brown gets the first one, knocked through the corners there. Traitor, the top G, goes down. But Danny Brown gets knocked down as well. Reels will do the job to hold down the corner. And here comes Nexus, gets the confirmation. Shad is there. And a confirmation from him as well onto Manny's position. Active Gaming roaring through. Shad in the front lines. Gets a knock and a touch, unfortunately, onto the guys from RSG. Roach is still behind. And another utility comes out from the rear end. Molotov cocktail by Shad. Tries to pop it, loop it over the top. But unfortunately, it falls. Another Molotov cocktail just to keep them occupied while the rest of the team makes the advance. Here comes Reels taking the push forward. Remember me. Will remember you? Because that grenade now he's about to send out, will it do the job? Traitor gets tagged down all the way across. And a beautiful grenade onto Reels. He gets knocked away. And an opening position. Active Gaming trying their best to hold on for dear life, but RSG have all bases covered. Roach and Remember Me trying to hold off. Traitor again, but now an opportunity for Shad. He will get the tag at the numbers advantage, coming in clutch. RSG falling piece by piece on it like a chessboard, and one more to go. That will be the end. Active Gaming, 8 eliminations strong, and more and more and more in Vikendi.
Beautifully done by Active Gaming, doing that damage there. 8 kills in total. Shad standing on 3, Nexus on 1, Rolls on 2, and Top G on 2 kills. 8 in total for Active Gaming. 9th place currently, 9 teams remaining, 30 players left alive. 10-11 still in it with a full team as well. But man, what a game for Active Gaming at the moment. Team there is 2nd place currently there with 4 kills, with Men in Blood standing on 3 kills, Raid Shield Esports on 2, and Dream Team on 1, and Free Sports on 1.
Ooh, man, that was absolutely brilliant from Active. They desecrated the guys from RSG. They just had a beautiful position. You kind of love the plays coming in from Active, and I did mention them being one of the teams to look out for in Vikendi, and they are telling you exactly why they love to play out here these open terrains. A little bit of attack and a little bit of defense, but they've now pulled up to the scene a little bit too close for comfort onto the guys from 10-11, and 10-11 are aware of all of that action that just went down with the guys from RSG. So now they're waiting and they're hoping to look for more positions. Take a look at Bego. He spotted a Traitor and he might just uproot him from that vehicle, tags him a little bit too much. And now will be an opening position again from Bego with a beautiful spray onto that corner. And now Active Gaming are scrambling around. Shegs jumps outside, takes a little bit of full damage, but now it's an opportunity for 10-11 to keep the guys from Active Gaming from getting inside of that play zone. The left-hand side looking very, very occupied. 10-11 are still doing their absolute best to work the angles, their utilities onto the right side. And now 10-11 have been getting a little bit of a third-party central all the way from the southern side on unfortunate turn of events. Enigma, do you think they will be able to take this fight? Do you even think this fight is the right fight to take?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. You don't know who's around you. You don't know how many teams is around you, but you do know there's one team you want to take on head on right in front of you. Currently, Active Gaming does have the top hill, which is, that's two advantages. It's much easier to play from top towards down than it is to play uphill. Now, Men in Blood coming in here right in front of Active Gaming as well, with their last 2 remaining duos. And you still have Team Day and Extremist way off in a distance. taking shots at Active Gaming and 10-11 as well. So it's going to be difficult for these teams to actually fully focus on pushing just one team. You have to focus on whoever is around you. As Foul Play does take down Creed from Men of Blood, but 11 gets a return fire. Active Gaming does knock down 10-11 Snuffy, and our 10-11 has to focus on getting that revive on in. Will this give Active Gaming the chance to push on in, or are they going to rotate for zone rather?
Would be a smarter choice for Active to make the rotation inside of that play zone now that they've put a spanner in the works for 10-11. Snuffy will be a victim of a little bit of overzealousness there, but a beautiful grenade from 22 Savage onto Demi, and there Esports will lose yet another player, but an unfortunate turn of events for them in that position. Free Esports now setting their sights onto the guys from Active Gaming, and Active Gaming have been knocked away by, I believe, 10-11 still on that rotation, and Free Esports, a combination of powers, and Active Gaming's dreams of taking this chicken dinner have been cut short. 22 Savage for the extremists, making a push just towards that south side. They're trying to find a way inside of that play zone. There's a whole lot of teams in front of them. It is the Invincibles all the way across that are looking for their Esports last player, Stare. He a dangerous player Stare can be. Hopefully he doesn't find an angle there onto 22 Savage. He hasn't been spotted, or finally he is going to be spotted, and that will be the end of their Esports. They do go out repetitively there relatively very quickly. 10-11 out as well in 5th place, snuffed away. Beautiful play coming in. Now it's all left to the Invincibles, Free Esports, and a whole bunch of teams in this area. And now Enigma, there's so many teams and there's not enough space. Who do you think can snatch this chicken dinner?
Oh, 10-11 coming in very strong. They got eliminated. Invisibles here coming in with a 3-man team as well as Men in Blood. Free Sports still a full-man team with the only remaining compound inside, and the Extremists coming in here from the top hill. Extremists have to get that revive in as quickly as possible. Free Sports gets one eliminated as well. And now they got another knock on in. It's down to the last 2 remaining players as they face off against Men of Blood. It's down to Ramsey and Jagaban as Creed comes up that stairs. That nade just too long to cook. And he runs right into them. And that is it for Free Esports. Men of Blood take on over. Extremists gets knocked on down by the Invisibles as Savage goes on down to Guard 7. Guard 7 picked up 2 kills, beautifully done by Invisibles, coming in with a 3-man team, almost center zone, as well as Men of Blood. But I do think I'm going to put my caster curse on this game on Men of Blood.
Ooh, Men of Blood have a lot of ground to cover, but they do have the numbers advantage. God 7 tried to drop shot there, but Creed will drop him first. Men of Blood again seething through these teams. They're tearing them one after the other. Can the Invincibles put a spanner in their works? 11, Rage, and the rest of the team there. Creed as well is still there, and I don't think they've lost any players, but the Extremists again somehow making it into the top 3 once more. They've been slept on so far, but they've been able to put some numbers on the board for themselves. Choco is there trying to find a little bit of anguish, and inside of that position the Invincibles are 2 eliminations up. This is not the Invincibles I'm used to seeing. They usually have double digits by now, but it looks like they're struggling to find a little bit of that working, and the Wolf has been spotted getting tagged up by Choco there. An interesting position the Invincibles are holding. They have a little bit of play zone to work with, but the Extremists do have the numbers advantage. They should set their sights on this position. They should start to put out the smokes and the utilities to mask their path inside of that zone, but they cannot hide from 11. 22 Savage has been spotted, but here comes Choco. Choco will steal, he will kill, he will destroy, he will reap where he did not sow. He does not care. 3 elimination for the Invincible, but Wolf with a beautiful spray onto that position will catch 11 and knock him clean off as well. Coxel will get tagged up by Choco as well from that position, and now he falls. Invincibles with a beautiful position trying to utilize Easy there on the other side. Can he not see Choco from this side? I mean, he does have an angle, but now he's trying to pop a grenade across. He gets knocked away. I mean, what did he expect? It's the Invincibles. You can't stop them, not from this position. Invincibles again trying to hold off. Coxel trying his absolute best to work that angle. Creed is there onto the western side. Enigma, there's so much chaos going on, but your caster curse, it looks like he's casting well.
Yeah, so far it's working out for Men in Blood, yeah. But Invisible's just gatekeeping those angles away from the Extremists, making it extremely difficult for the extremists to cross that road as the Invisibles stop the last of the extremists from coming on in. And now it's down to Creed, standing on 7 kills for Men in Blood. It's a 1v2. Oh my God, beautifully done there by Men in Blood from Creed. We still have someone left there on top as well. I think it might be one more from the extremist, as Choco and Roni both focusing on Creed here right below them. Currently, Men in Blood not inside of zone, with Invisibles just on the edge of that side, with the extremists right there on the top side as well, just inside of zone. Creed needs to fall back and get into that zone. Who's going to take home the third game here? Will the extremists make it all the way to the final zone and maybe just clutch it, the final 2 or 1 player remaining? But it's all down to Men of Blood and Invisibles here in this next fight, as Easy and Coxall is starting to rotate in closer and closer towards that compound edge of the zone side, with Easy with a nade in hand. Who's going to clutch it? Who's going to take home the third chicken dinner here, Priest?
The Invincibles have a good position, but unfortunately they're biting off a little bit more than they can chew, trying to use the high ground. Choco hops into the vehicle there, but that's a dangerous play. But it would be the only from this area, but again, he might just get spotted. Choco does a fantastic job of finding a little bit of niche of cover for himself, but the extremists about to take this to an extremely new level. Now the play zone starting to squeeze them out, and here comes Creed. He has been sent back into the lobby. Coxall gets knocked away, and the play zone, I believe that was the play zone that did claim the last person Easy, and the Invincibles will take the chicken dinner with a crazy turn of events. 7 eliminations, and the extremists in second place with 2 for themselves, and Men of Blood in third place with 10. Enigma, 10 eliminations for Men of Blood. I mean, no chicken dinner yet, but they have been consistently putting up the numbers.
Yeah, beautifully done by Men of Blood. Coming in, they were third place. 10 kills, 7 kills for Creed for Men of Blood. Crazy stuff. Man, what a candy match. That was quite interesting to see. Oh, we got a... I'm not sure what's going on there, but
well, the production team, it looks like they might have been sleeping on that one a little bit, but I think they've got themselves awake right now. So yeah, I mean, speaking of that performance, the Invincibles, I was expecting a little bit more from them owing to the position that they had, coming in from that southern side. But again, it did work in their favor. I mean, you did, you gave Men of Blood your caster course, so you're gonna hear about this one in the chat. I'm sure you're definitely gonna hear about this one in the chat coming from Men of Blood for sure.
I'm not going to open their group chat at all for the rest of the night. I'm sorry, Men of Blood. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well, let's head over to the analyst desk. Yeah, let's head over to the analyst desk. Fire, what you got for us? How did you see that game?
All right, an absolutely interesting game. So far, it has been violence from every single end. It's like, I have my hands going like, just trying to follow through on every single one of those. But so far, we've seen so much, from these teams. And it'd be curious to see who does win the fourth game of the night. Is it going to be the boys from Apex? We saw some, good action from the boys from Active Gaming. So at some point, it looked like they were going to win that, but the firepower coming in from 10-11 and Free Esport did send them out of the game. So it was quite an amazing game. The boys from MOB thought at some point they could snatch that one, but the firepower coming in from the Invincibles was just too much for them to bear on the final zone. All right, guys, so with that being said, we'll take a quick break and be back on our fourth game of the night. Hope you guys have been enjoying the game so far. And do remember to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in a couple of minutes. Don't go nowhere.
To be
Game time, game time, game time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nigerian Pro League Season 6. It is the Rain Split Finals. It is day one, and it's still your boy Priest. And I'm here with my main man, Enigma. We are 3 games in, and we've been so impressed, coming into into today's matches. 4 maps in finally. We're about to head into Eranjo. And I think I'm trying to do a little bit of recollection. It was Apex that won the first Eranjo game. Do you think Apex just has that Eranjo, power in them? Do you think they're gonna do it one more time? One for the road.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, you got Rachel these wards. It's pretty strong on Erangel as well as Men in Blood as well as Afro. So any one of them can take the final game. We're gonna have to wait and see who's gonna take home the final game here in tonight's first day of the finals. Let's jump on in and see how it's gonna go down.
Yeah, interesting playing path all the way from the northeast to the southwest, or rather, I would just call that south. Military base zone. Dream Team and 21st Century are gonna love this one, that's for sure. But again, Apex and a couple of interesting teams we saw in the previous game, like 10-11, and the Extremist rose, to the occasion and got themselves an interesting number of points in that first game. But we're not seeing anyone run away with it just yet. Men of Blood have finally found that chicken dinner, but they didn't find it in the first 2 games. And yeah, so Enigma, what are the chances that a team that has won, a chicken dinner tonight will win another chicken dinner in this game? We've got 3 different winners. We had Apex, we had 10-11, and I think we just had the guys from Men of Blood, seal the last one. Do you think any of these 3 teams can, do some more of the same and get some more points on the board?
I mean, 100% the possibility is there. If they can do it again, that's going to be very difficult, especially coming up with these teams. I mean, we had 3 different winners tonight in 3 games. It just shows you that it is evenly matched up between these teams on the skill level. So it's all going to come down to zone rotations, who can read the zone the best, who can take the engagements the best, who can get into the final zone with the most players and get home that final chicken dinner. You see, the majority of the teams have made it towards their landing locations, and I'm loving this new location that Foul Player has found himself there on that mansion area, right in between Rachel Esports, the Extremist, and Team Apex. And it worked out pretty good for them coming into the first game. It's going to have to wait and see how it's going to work out here in this final game for them, as well as Active Gaming and the rest starting to rotate more towards that western side of the map. We might just see a few players lose a player or 2 in that rotation for those that normally take that way western compounds and cities.
Yeah, that western area will look very interesting because it's very empty right now. So most of the teams that will be playing in that south area, like Dream Team, 21st Century, and the guys from I believe Disparage, they have a lot of ground, to cover, and a lot of utilities to make up for going into the next couple of phases inside of that play zone. The guys from Vibe and a couple of other teams that will be centered up very nicely will enjoy zero rotations and a lot of utilities to pack up with in that central position. But again, Team Apex have not been finding too much of their footing so far. They do have a significant number of interesting rotations and points and eliminations on the board so far, but that chicken dinner for Afro Esports has been very elusive. Stoner, Neo, Aimer, and Solo. Interesting lineup. They've not been able to find that spark that we saw in the Hamatan splits. They've not been able to discover it just yet, but we've still got 2 days. We've got so much in store coming in for you guys as we try our best to navigate these entries and these teams. It takes a lot for these teams to get to this level. They've been constantly practicing, constantly performing, and now it's one step closer to that grand finals prize money. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the Super Weekend points, your best performing Super Weekend points will be tallied with the points you get in the finals. to make up for your grand final points. And if you did play the finals of the rain split, both points will be tallied up, and that will give you an edge over some teams that did not play in the rain in the Hamatan split. So a luck to the teams that did play in both splits. More points for you if you make it to the finals of both splits. That is the advantage you get over other teams that did not. But now those other teams will need to raise the bar and get some significant points on the board to get themselves closer to those grand final points.
100%. Interesting with the new updates. There was a new kind that got introduced in this new update, as well as the M16A4 that has the option to turn from burst to automatic. We haven't seen that, and even the DBS, we haven't seen that a lot in this finals coming into NPL Priest. Do you think we will see that more coming into tournaments into play? I mean, the barrel in 762, quite a powerful weapon that I've tested out inside of Classic, and it looks like it might just be a replacement for an AKM and an M762 normal, AR. Do you think we will see more of that coming into the competitive scene to play?
I mean, it's really a more of a definitive point of how much more teams would, or players rather, would want to swap to that. It's always going to be a matter of how realistic or how usable is that weapon. How comfortable is it? Does it mess with your gyro? Does it mess with your ADS? Can you use it 4 times on it? Is it comfortable to use it 3 times on it? I mean, it could get very, very sticky now because free esports are getting crashed in by the guys from Afro, and we talk about Afro now. They've been looking for that opening, looking for that opportunity to work something. Jagaban with the grenade in hand, he's trying to find something, trying to find an opening and an angle there onto the guys from Afro. Solo will be his victim. All he has to do is cook that grenade to perfection, and that is a very, very nice position, but unfortunately the grenade does not connect. Solo will jump outside, and now Afro Esports looking for an opening again. Free Esports in a beautiful setting outside, but again, they cannot breach from here. All of their bases currently are looking very, very covered, and they will be able to work the angles from each position here. But Free Esports have not been able to have the best of games so far. We saw them get eliminated in Miramar by the guys from Team Apex, so they didn't have a fantastic game either in Vikendi. So they will need to step up one more time for the road and get some significant points for themselves.
And I mean, even Team Afro, they went out, not early in game 1. In game 2, they got eliminated. The first team to get eliminated. In Vikendi, they got eliminated by Team Apex, with the stage 3 zone. And here we go, Afro gets the first knock onto Ramsey, and now it's Manduya getting pushed. Ramsey, Rufai goes on down. Can he get a revive in here? And yeah, he gets one down, beautifully returned from Manduya, getting one down. He goes on down, and that is it for Free Esports, because Afro takes them all down in the 21st century. They heard that commotion, and they're coming in here for a third party with Anes already there on top of the mountain. He's got some backup. They're right on top of Team Afro, with Afro already being loaded with that engagement that might come in to handy in here with advantage to 21st century if they do play this quite quickly. You see the Rachel Esports taking down Foul Play as well. Foul Play and Extremists. So we've got 3 teams there in the vicinity engaging one another.
Tricky scenario for 21st century out here as the engagements continue to pile up. 21st century, they did not make the push onto Afro Esports position. I was expecting them to, full send it. Afro had one player knocked away. There was a lot of confusion. 21st century pulled up to the scene, but they started to pull out immediately. I was expecting them to, just take it with them. But, we saw them get eliminated relatively earlier in the last game against guys from Dare Esports. They got completely outplayed. And now I think they're going to be taking fights with a little bit more caution now. And we can see that because Afro have been given a chance to breathe. Unfortunately, 21st century are they are in the habit of letting the poor breathe. And Afro Esports will be breathing this one now. But Quila will get tagged up by, I believe that was Solo, trying to pop one through into that open space. Pharaoh exposed himself just a little bit too much there, and the warning shots will follow. Afro Esports, will they be able to claim this position? It might get very, very uncomfortable here for the guys from 21st Century. Neo just trying to find an opening through those windows, trying to bar the doors and those opening positions. Pharaoh trying inside to look just to peek and get a knock right through that corner, but unfortunately he cannot just find it just yet. Amos switches to the grenade, but back to his M4, and again cannot do a little bit too much there. But 21st Century, they're doing a fantastic job of wasting bullets here, because they are not necessarily doing a little bit too much of anything, as Afro Esports are not overextending and not giving them all of the intel. So I think it would be a wiser choice for 21st Century, to spread themselves around the building and not necessarily just too close.
Yeah, 100%. Quillo there, right on top of them, trying to get an open and knock forward a team. And now we can see that 21st Century starting to get a little bit better angles there on the side. You can just look at that, a shelter area with foul play, extremists, and invisibles, as well as Rachel Esports, all of them together there with Men of Blood not rotating too far away from them. A lot of action going on there on that central area just below of Yasnaya. Ooh, Afro solo, beautifully done. Gets on Quilla. He gets the first one on down. He is 1 HP, but he got the first knock on in. Is that going to mean Afro is going to push on in, as Quilla is not right on top of him? And they do get the confirm in 21st Century. Oh, but Anez gets a knock on Neo. Down goes Solo. 2 knock for Afro. 1 down for 21st Century. Who's going to win this engagement? Baby got tagged up a little bit down to 50% HP. Now I got Anez there turning to get around. I got 2 knocked right in front of him. And Pharaoh in front. Is Anas and Pharaoh going to be able to get down Stoner? Amar goes on down. It's all down to Stoner now. It's a 3v1. They see Stoner. They're running into the building. Tags him quite low. And Stoner Afro is in trouble here with Pharaoh coming in with that nade. Will that nade connect? Anes starting to look if there's any more in the outside. But there's only 1 player left standing. Is he going to be able to get a revive on in? Maybe make it a 2v3 again. But no, he's not going to be able to get that revive on in. Here comes the molly from Anez. And Stoner almost runs right into him. Jumps out of the window right in front of Anez. And he jumps to his death. Unfortunately, Afro goes on out.
We've seen it. The dispatch rider effect. We've seen it time and time again. Dispatch riders delivering packages themselves to the ops right there, and 21st Century will be the receivers of the package from Afro Esports there. They pushed in the right space, and just like I said, all they had to do was occupy the areas and squeeze out the guys from Afro Esports, and they did a fantastic job of holding out. 10-11 heard all of that commotion, but they will not be getting involved. They're still in the southern side of the play zone, and it could get very, very quick. It could take a lot of them to hold out that position, because they've heard and they're aware of the teams that were taking that engagement. I'm pretty sure they did read the feed. They know that 21st Century just eliminated Afro Esports. That 21st Century did lose someone in that engagement. They know that they have the numbers advantage if they decide to make the push. But again, it would take a little bit more than that, force the guys from 10-11 into that, because the play zone is just a little bit in front of that position. So they might be able to play, full stretch. But Team Apex, all the way chilling in the east, nobody contesting them. They are sitting very, very pretty in that position. So they will not necessarily have to, overextend or engage in any kind of frivolous activity. 21st Century, trying to make a rotation all the way from that southern position. The play zone has shifted away from themselves and 10-11. So they would have to, pick up and reset where they left off. They've got 4 eliminations for themselves. They've lost 1 player, but they can do so much better, because 10-11, we saw them do a fantastic job in the previous, Eranjo game. So I'm looking for more of the same from 10-11. This is exactly how they played the previous game, relatively very slow, but then again, they still played it very close to the edge, a little bit closer to the center. So hopefully maybe in the next phase or in the next zone, that would be the right choice of play.
Yeah, 100%. 10-11 just at the moment, just spectating on to 21st Century, just watching them closely, how they're going to rotate, not making any pushes on yet. And 21st Century, if they're not careful with the rotation, might run right into them as Stuffy there on top. He's got a pretty good angle, and he does get the knock on Anez as Anez runs right into them. And 21st Century loses their second player, and now it's a 4v2. If they're not careful, are they going to rotate away from there, or are they going to take that engagement? Being a two-man team, I think it would probably be the best bet to rather get away from there and rather go for placement for the final game, as Baby has that in his plan as well as he starts to rotate. And it looks like Pharaoh is having difficulty driving. Somebody sign him up for a driving school.
Is in one of those scenarios you would think Pharaoh got his driver's license from a cereal box or something like that, because the way he was just running into the walls, that could tell you that, yeah, this guy probably kills his teammates just by his driving alone. But 21st Century, they will be hightailing it out of that position. They just lost one of their strongest players to 10-11. Don't panic. And Bego setting up themselves in a beautiful position on that southern side, but they will have to make a run for it very, very soon. The play zone is just a little out of reach for them, 100 meters out. They will need to make a little bit of an adjustment to that position. But fortunately for them, the style of play is always going to be very, 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 very slow and very, very paced, going into stages 3 and 4 of the circle. And that is why I love 10-11. They are so tenacious, when it comes to sticking with their routine and their play style. They do not get rattled very easily. They do not they do not start to overcompensate. But now the Invincibles will set their sights onto the guys from Active Gaming all the way across. I believe that is the western side of the play zone there, or rather, is that a central position? I think it is a little bit of a central position just outside of Yasnaya. The Active Gaming guys, Enigma, do you think they will be able to withstand this though? Ooh, crash.
Oh, crash by Shornex right into him, but Shornex gets spotted by rolls from behind. He gets knocked on down, but he's got Ronnie right on top of him. Beautiful cover fire. Ooh. Just like that, Active Gaming gets eliminated. That was pretty quick, beautifully done by Invisibles, having all angles and just committing to that push together as a team, but off in a distance. Team there also taking some shots onto them. Oh, beautiful retaliation by God7 with his AWM quite to the head, gets the knock on back, and that's going to give him time to get at revives on in and make it a full team again. Havel Gaming getting the knock on Manny YT for Rage Shield Esports. Shornex now back up. And now they can focus on their next move. Are they going to rotate, or are they going to take on another team? Yeah, beautiful push there with God7 taking 3 of Active Gaming, and Choco getting the last one.
Oof. Last one, there is a rotten egg. And now the rest of the team for Active Gaming crying from beyond the lobby there, as the Invincibles were able to snuff them out. 3-piece for God7 there. He has that bolt action heavy duty sniper, using it as a big weapon of mass destruction. You might as well just call it an interesting turn of events here. But RSG up 2 eliminations. We saw them play exactly this strategy in the first map. They did have the guys from Foul Play up north instead, but now it is going to be the guys from Habitual Gaming this time around, trying their absolute best to hold out that position. But RSG cannot commit to this just yet. Their esports again on the receiving end of another sniper shot from God7. It is there, he gets the slain away immediately there, but the Invincibles will not be taking the push just yet. It's an interesting position. They are too far away to get that one sorted out, but RSG looking for a high top position, and this might just be the perfect one for them.
Yeah, beautiful position there, coming into that center zone. I would take that compound. It's a nice little high ground. If you've got a full team, you split up, you've got a wide open field. You can see people pushing you from far away. But it's not going to help much if you're up against a player like God7 with an AWM that does not miss. And interesting, though, you do not see a lot of players use bolties in competitions. You normally, all of them just rock their standard M4 UMP or Tommy gun, something for mid-range to long range and something for CQC. You don't see bolties being used, especially in the finals here. But God7 definitely using it to the best of his abilities, getting a couple of knocks on in. And Shirks takes down Chris as 10-11 gets the first knock onto the Dream Team.
The southern side looking very, very caked up there. As Knock is fantastic and Chris will get confirmed. We saw this exact same play style from 10-11 rotating around the shores of the area of shelter. They did have the Invincibles around this position as well as the Extremists, and they did crack into the top 5 teams. So that tells you that the strategy has to have some truth in it, the way they've been able to master these positions. 10-11 now. Bego and Shirks leading the charge with 2 eliminations, 1 apiece. And they do have an interesting split being held up from that position, this barrage just north of that hillside. And now they might just be running into the guys from Dream Team just below the shelter point. And now 10-11 do have a little bit of a literal mountain to climb from that from on top of the guys from 10-11 or rather on top of the guys from Dream Team. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you got the Dream Team, you got 10-11, you got the Extremists. So many teams all around them. It's going to be quite a hot spot here on this shelter area. Not too far away, you got more teams coming on in, pushing on in. And you can just see, don't panic. He's searching for a way to get that first knockdown in. So how does one gonna play out? Where's the zone gonna go? It's only the third stage of this final game, so still the zone can push them out anyway. The Dream Team is stuck below them here on the bottom. They managed to get one entry into the top side. Will that be enough for them to retaliate and maybe get that return knock-in onto 10-11? They did lose Chris. Can they get a retaliation going on here, or are they going to stay inside of the shelter area?
Ooh, staying inside? I wouldn't recommend that, because they are in the southern side, and the play zone might squeeze them up north a little bit too much and favor the guys from RSG and even the guys from Dare Esports. But again, there can be a little bit more time for them to, work from this position, because the guys from 10-11 will just be waiting for them at the gates and at the entry points, of that shelter position. And that is the danger of shelter, keeping yourself boxed in. And I think the guys from 10-11 are just going to be holding them out inside of these areas. So they could even park their vehicles, at the door and blow it all the way up, making it impossible for them to come out of that position. And I talked about the play zone, fortunately for them, just stays in the southern side. So they will be able to make something work from this position. But again, 10-11 are just waiting for them at the door. They're waiting for them to peek their head out. And that will be the end. And look at that. Don't Panic is doing exactly what I was expecting, trying to park his vehicle at the entrance there, just making it impossible for the guys from Dream Team to make it out alive.
Oh, that was definitely something I would do. Just box them in. Thank you. One less team to worry about. This barrage getting crashed here by Team Invisibles. See, are they going to be able to take over the Dream Team's? They got Men in Blood right in front of them as well. Men in Blood, still a full team coming in there right across from them. Can they get that knock in and push on in, or is Men in Blood just going to gatekeep them all? None of them currently inside of zone. Have it all gaming way off in the distance, but Jornex taking a couple of shots there onto Criminal and Sting, not doing much damage. But God7 did get knocked on down. Can I get a revive on in? Choco getting down Stallion.
Invincibles looking very invincible right here, doing a fantastic job of holding out so many teams just by the edge there, but there's still a lot of bodies for them to deal with all the way out here in this I would call this a southwestern push, trying to hold off this corner. We saw them play exactly like this in the previous game. 21st Century finally getting snuffed out by RSG. They do go out in 12th place. Now Apex now receiving some significant damage from the guys from Dare Esports. Rusty gets confirmed by Dami Dare Esports with their first elimination, and it is against the guys from Team Apex. Apex did have a better number coming into this phase in game 1, so it's not looking like game 1 is about to repeat itself, but 11 exposed himself just a little bit too much. He gets tagged away by Sean, and Invincibles now trying to breach through. An opportunity has shown itself. Creed will be the next one showing off and getting knocked away, and now it's an opportunity for the Invincibles to share on out. Shaq getting tacked up. A beautiful spray coming in from Ronnie, but the jump shot is beautiful from Rage. Gets the knock through. Choco's been knocked away as well, and it's going to be a very, very difficult one for the guys from the Invincibles to hold up. Beautiful tag in coming in from God7, and the finish is sublime. Invincibles once again coming in clutch with 9 eliminations, and God7 the one to seal the deal. 10-11, seeing all of that action, don't panic, will steal, kill, and destroy the ops with a beautiful third-party finish.
Yeah, that was a beautiful push from Invincibles. They getting that confirm on Men of Blood, but unfortunately losing another play. God7 gets knocked on, but 10-11 from behind as well, as it's just going to make it difficult for them to rotate into the new zone. Sean X did manage to get the smallest part of it, but now he is stuck behind that barrier. He's going to have to rotate into the blue. And Dream Team, Shag did take down Jerks, and now this project focusing on Apex. And looks like Snuffy will get confirmed there on top as well, as 10-11 lose another one. Zad does get the knock on Snuffy with a beautiful nade. And Dream Team doing brilliantly there on top of the shelter area. Raid Shield Esports still going strong at it on the kill feed as well.
Dream Team doing a fantastic job of somehow managing to uproot 2 players from the guys from 10-11. I thought they had this area covered, but they totally forgot, about that other position in shelter. And that is why you have to be very, very smart as to how you handle your position and handle your abilities. But now Team Apex, unfortunately falling by the wayside. Kage, Unicorn, and Rusty have all been swept away here, and now it's all left to Moonlight. Can he Moonlight? Can he get them at least 1 placement point? That is all that would be needed for them to, put some points on the board in this final game. Dare Esports looking very, very cozy just down in that northern side of the play zone without anyone having to contest. They are sitting very, very comfortably, very, very pretty, I might add, but Habitual Gaming getting themselves a little bit of a thirst for blood there with an M249 sent towards the guys from RSG. Coxel will be the one getting knocked away there onto the other side, and it's an unfortunate turn of events that we're not catching that action right now. But here we are. Dare Esports will be swept away by RSG with the quickness, but the third party from Moonlight onto the guys from RSG, an opportunity for him to work the angles there. The Molotov cocktail will go out in sight, and now an opportunity for them to hold off this barrage coming in from the northern side of Moonlight's position, and they might just be able to do something about this in that area. But RSG, hopefully they will be able to get that reset. But Moonlight, will he be able to, be a thorn in the side to this team from this barrage? Enigma, do you think he can keep them at bay?
Highly doubted. I mean, this barrage, they come in with a full team, crash him head on. There's not going to be much he can do. But if they do decide to let him be and manage to get a little bit of placement points, there is currently 7 teams remaining as the last from the Extremists gets confirmed by an Invisible. Invisible Shortax doing beautifully, almost taking down Don't Panic there as well as the solo player. But God 6 coming in there, God 7 coming in with 6 kills. Shortax standing strong on 3 kills, holding off 10-11. 10-11 have sent the zone currently. Can he get a revive back on his teammate there, as Bigo is still currently knocked on down, but Invisible Sean X is going to be able to gatekeep him from coming on in here. Dream Team coming in with a 3-man team do take down Bigo, and he will get confirmed. 3 kills on the board for Dream Team, 2 for Archer, 1 for Sad. Beautifully read by the Dream Team, just taking that edge, and it's almost a similar zone as we have seen from game 1 here, Priest.
Yeah, exactly, what I talked about. But it's a different set of teams right now. There's no, I believe a Team Apex that did win that first game. I think Moonlight has been sent back into the lobby if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong about that. I just can't see him in the feed just yet. But this barrage getting bombarded with a buttload of shots here from Dream Team. Archer sprays into the distance, trying to find another knock upon another knock. But Desperado will be holding on very, very nicely. Watch onto the top corner. Will be spraying downwards into the guys from Dream Team, but with a beautiful spray, Lucid will catch them. One of them unaware. Sean surely has been spotted now by Archer. Chaos will be confirmed by Lucid. Dream Team doing a magnificent job of holding out the southern side. Sean again will be sprayed towards, but don't panic. It's still in the center of all of this chaos. But finally, Sean will be discovered by who? By the guy from Vibe. Vibe now starting to wake up to reality. 5 eliminations to them, but not a lot of play zone to work with. And now it might just get a little bit tricky for them to make the rotation. But Guns, Taiwo, and Supremo making their way inside. They've got 3 players in. But now the play zone might just catch Supremo off guard. He makes it in with a slither of HP. So 3 versus 3 against the guys from Dream Team. And the knock has already been sent away towards the guys
Here
from
comes
Vibe.
Archer. Well done, Dream Team, reading that zone beautifully. Are they going to push on in, or are they just going to hold on to that 6-stage zone? Vibe, it's a 3v3. Vibe standing on 5 kills, but Vibe has to focus on pushing into the Dream Team. Now, all Dream Team need to do is just hold their angles, play it calmly, and secure the win. But so does get the knock on to Lucid. Con 7 goes down as well, back to a 2v2. But he does have Sad there to get that revive on in as Archer pulls in a little bit closer. He's going to make sure they've got no entry into this final zone here. Do you think the Dream Team can go all the way here, Priest?
I mean, the position that they have right now is very, very tricky. It's all about utilities right now, but Taiwo does keep getting tagged away, and he is going to get knocked away by Sad. And now the guys from our Dream Team have all of their cards on the table, and a beautiful spray coming in from Supremo, but unfortunately it will not be connecting. And now it's a 3 versus 1, and I think Dream Team know this. 2 players getting knocked away and getting tagged up one after the other. But Guns, he has to sacrifice 1 player for the next. And unfortunately, Guns will not be getting picked up. He will succumb to his injuries. He will be sent back. Supremo made the wrong choice. The play zone surely will claim him instead. And we got a different winner for game 4. It is going to be Dream Team with 7 eliminations. Enigma, 7 eliminations and a chicken dinner.
Beautifully done by Dream Team, getting that chicken dinner. Vibe, unfortunately, Supremo making the... I would have went for a zone robber, smoke your way in, take the chance of a 1v3. I think that is the panic of this final zones in the finals. There's so much going on, happening all at once. It's just so difficult to concentrate on what to do. This Barrage coming in with 3rd place with 2 eliminations. Well, what do you think, Priest, about day 1 here?
Well, it has been an absolutely fantastic day. I can't lie. We had 4 different maps. We had 4 different winners. That's to tell you that, yeah, nobody's running away with this one. That is for sure. But so far, the guys from Dream Team stepping up in the final game. We saw Vibe as well stepping up. And Vibe was a team that did step up in the finals of the Hamatan split. I think they came 2nd place behind Afro Esports. So now they're showing us, yes, all they need to do is time. They need to get some time to adapt to the lobby, and I'm starting to see that Guns and Supremo being a fantastic duo for a couple of minutes in coming into that final third. Beautiful stuff coming in from Vibe, 2nd place with 5 eliminations. That's not too bad. Double digits numbers for them to work through. This Barrage again doing a fantastic job. Top 3, 2 eliminations, not the best performance coming up from their Miramar game, but it is still a fantastic, again, 10-11, clutching it up into, I believe they made it into the top 5 in 4th place with 7 eliminations. So that's what we love to see. Overall, 10-11 have stepped up to the plate. They've been doing a magnificent job. They got a chicken dinner, in game 2. They got 2nd place in game 1, and now 4th place in game 4. I mean, I think they even got 5th place in Vikendi. So yeah, I believe 10-11, their strategy is starting to pay off.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Men of Blood, 10-11, even foul play thoroughly impressed us here tonight, especially with their new drop locations and the way they rotated and the way they even took their engagements here tonight. Beautifully done by Vibe as well, picking up, especially in that Vikendi game, focusing on so many teams trying to come in with that third party and just manages to hold their ground against top teams here coming into the finals. So all of these teams here tonight thoroughly showed why they deserve to be in the finals of the Nigerian Pro League.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of tonight's games. So do not forget to spam in the chat who your favorite team is. Big shout out to every single team that turned up tonight. 16 teams vying for that prize money. So do not forget, the grand finals will still be upon your screens. And these are the teams that are vying for a spot in those grand finals. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we will cut the cameras and say goodnight. It is the NPL Reign finals. It is the Reign split. It is the finals, and it is day one. We've got 2 more days of action prepped for all of you. So stay strapped and stay ready. We'll catch you guys same time tomorrow.
See you all tomorrow.
Think you've got what it takes. The challenge will be tougher than ever. In 2023, international esports has a new home. Over 100 nations fighting for the championship in a celebration of everything that makes esports great. Who will rise up to the challenge? Who will be the world champion?
You're gonna need a makeaway for me to see. But as for me,